Welcome to Orland Square, Route 45, 151st Street, Orland Park. Batting order for the Cubs today. Ron DeJesus to lead off at shortstop. Joe Strain batting second, playing at second base. Billy Buckner at first base, hitting third. Steve Henderson at left field, batting cleanup. Leon Durham in right field, hitting fifth. Batting sixth, playing at third is Kenny Reitz. Scott Thompson in center field. Thompson batting seventh. Tim Blackwell doing the catching. Blackwell hitting eighth. And Rick Russell pitched a fine one in the opener at Wrigley Field against the Mets, but the Cubs were shut out on that one, and so Rick suffered the defeat. Is on the hill. Steve Rogers out of the mound to get in his warm-up tosses. Batting order for Dick Williams of the Montreal Expos, who split their first two games of the season at Pittsburgh. Tim Raines, the left fielder. Ron LaFleur, no longer with them, now with the White Sox. Sox fans well know. Tim Raines in left field will be followed by Rodney Scott at second base. Andre Dawson hitting third in center. Ellis Valentine batting cleanup. Valentine at right. Gary Carter doing the catching. Carter hitting fifth. Larry Parrish at third base. Parrish batting sixth. Warren Cromartie at first base hitting seventh. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Chris Meyer, and on the hill, Steve Rogers, who did not have a decision in his first start at Pittsburgh, where he worked 5 innings and was roughed up. He gave up 8 hits and 5 runs, all of them earned. Walked 1, did not strike out any of the Pirates. 31-year-old veteran, the same age as Rick Russell. Let's take a moment here for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago, radio home of millions throughout mid-America. 51 degrees at O'Hare Field at 2 minutes past 1 o'clock.
The plate umpire, Jerry Crawford. Ed Vargo umpiring at first base. Satch Davidson at second. And Terry Pena at third. Gene Clydes in the coach's box at first for the Cubs. Cookie Rojas coaching at third. Ivan DeJesus in the Cubs' first 3 games, which they won 1 and lost 2 to the Mets. 3 hits in his first 11 trips to the plate this year. And has a couple of stolen bases in 2 attempts. Struck out twice in 11 at-bats. He's yet to draw a walk this year. Steve Rogers, 13-9 against the Cubs in his career. 13-9. Well, he's had a lot of decisions against the Cubs. Last year, he was 2-1 against the Cubs. Comes from the state of Missouri. Tall, slender, veteran right-hander with a full beard. DeJesus digging in. Sunny day. Now the wind-up in the first pitch and a strike ball. The crowd cheers. The opener for the Montreal Expos, who are hopeful this year of capturing the Eastern Division crown, which has barely eluded them the last 2 seasons. So the strike one pitch on its way. Breaking ball, and Ivan takes it low. Ball 1, strike 1. Both pitchers were out of the bullpens throwing, I'd say, Lou, another 5 or 10 minutes more than they normally would, trying to get warmed up for this one.
That's right. I think Russell took 25 minutes to warm up, where normally he would take 15.
Now the 1-1 delivery, and he takes the ball low and outside.
There'll be a lot of heating devices in the dugout, Vince.
Better be.
Hot water bottles included. I wish we had a couple up here.
Or something.
Yeah, I'll take that or something.
2-1 pitch. He takes, and that's a ball. A little low. Looked like a breaking pitch. Andre Dawson, the center fielder, and Ellis Valentine, the right fielder, are standing in the bright sunshine. Out in the cold shadow in left field is Tim Raines. Here's the pitch. A strike call, the fastball.
Look at Tony Scott at second base, jumping up and down.
Yeah,
running
to keep
stationary spot to keep warm, keep loose.
Warren Cromartie standing at first base. They're in sunshine, but Spire and Parrish on the left side are in shadow. Ivan stepped away from the plate for a few moments.
I think Carter hurt his hand.
Might have.
On that pitch. I don't know whether it's a bone bruise on his left hand or whether it hit his wrist.
Now, Carter says he's okay, and Rogers, with a full count on Ivan DeJesus, goes into the windup. Here it is, and Ivan swings, and a fly ball into right field is going to be caught. Valentine in the sunshine is there, grabs it, and the crowd roars its approval of the first out at Olympic Stadium this year. That'll bring the bat, Joe Strain. Off to a good start for the Cubs at the plate. He has 4 hits in his first 9 at-bats. He's also reached 3 times on walks. Cubs do not have a home run yet. Now the windup and Strain takes the fastball for a strike at the knees. Right-handed hitter. Joe's going to be 28 on the 30th of this month. Dawson way over into right center field for him. There's a swing, a pitch down and away, and he fouled it over into the Cub dugout behind third base.
Vince, we were told prior to the game, temperature is 39 degrees.
That's a lie. That may be where somebody has a thermometer right near a heater. Feels like about 19. 0-2 pitch. Look out! The pitch, Strain hits the deck, but he is hit by that pitch, and he will be awarded first base. And immediately, the trainer Tony Garofalo and manager Joe Malpatano to come out to check him, but Strain just gets up and jogs down to first base. Malpatano will eventually catch up with him.
Fortunately, he had that helmet on, and it was a curveball.
That's the first batter hit this year by Steve Rogers. Strain standing at first base. Rodney Scott continues to jog a tight little circle around second base, trying to stay fairly warm.
This, in my opinion, is the only time I would agree to have a pinch runner. When a man is hit around the face or the head,
let him be worked out.
Let him sit in that dugout for a minute or so, or until the half inning is over, to see how he feels.
Bill Buckner stepping in, the defending National League batting champion. He finally got a base hit Sunday. He's only hit in 11 at-bats, and he has batted in 1 run with it. He takes, and that's a ball low. So up to a very slow start at the plate. But he's not the first veteran to have that experience. Have an elliptical opening here, Olympic Stadium, where eventually they hope to have a roof on. Stretch the delivery. Buckner takes a fastball for a strike over the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 1 on him. 2 teams remain unbeaten in the National League, or in the major leagues. The Los Angeles Dodgers and the Oakland A's. Dodgers now 5-0. Oakland 6-0. There's a breaking pitch, and he misses low and inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Last year, Rogers won 16, lost 11, had a fine earned run average of 2.98. All right-hander into the stretch, Strain with a short lead. Buckner takes, and that's a curve low and inside, and Carter a very fine save to prevent a wild pitch. Passing cloud overhead obscures the sunshine, at least for a few seconds. And Rodney Scott still jogging over on the right side of that infield, trying to get warmed up.
Carter. Looks like he's jumping rope.
Oh. It is cold. Ball 3, strike 1 pitch on Buckner with Strain at first and 1 out. Top of the first inning. Strain goes. Buckner swings. And a liner in and out of the glove of the shortstop. He picks it up, steps on second, throws to first, and they have a double play. A blistering low line drive. Spire moving towards the bag at second as Strain took off on the pitch. Was there, had the ball in the glove, dropped it, picked it up right near the bag, stepped there for the force out on Strain, then pegged to Cromartie for a double play. And we go to the bottom of the first inning, no score.
Lou, the game of baseball is constantly changing. Today, a relief pitcher is one of the most important guys in the lineup.
Boy, that's right, Vince. And it makes the manager's job a little easier, knowing there's one guy on your team who's equal to most any situation.
Of course, you could say much the same thing about Heilmann's Old Style. Some beers are fine when you're hot and dry, and you just want to quench a thirst. But once you've satisfied that thirst, you find the flavor just isn't there. And that's where Old Style comes in. Great for when you're hot and thirsty. Great for when you simply have a thirst for a beer.
And Old Style's great no matter what the situation. Because Old Style's one American premium beer that's still brewed the old world way called Kreuznach. It's brewing a beer not once, but twice. Double brewing. With no artificial ingredients, no artificial carbonation.
So, fans, whatever the situation, bring in the style. Heilmann's Old Style. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. College tuition, debt consolidation, unexpected major medical expenses. Boy, those are big money needs. And a General Finance home equity loan can be the big money answer. You see, General Finance is able to offer you up to $25,000 on the equity in your home. Up to $25,000 without disturbing your first mortgage. So if you're faced with big money needs, a General Finance home equity loan can be your big money answer. Find out today with a call to one of the 70 General Finance offices serving the Chicago area.
That, by the way, that double play that retired the Cubs is the second this year by the Expos. And Russell out on the hill, making his second start of the year. He worked 7 innings in the opener against the Mets at Wrigley Field and pitched a very fine ball game. Gave up 5 hits, one a homer to Rusty Staub, another home run to Lee Mazzilli, and that cost him a ball game 2-0. Tim Raines, last year had an outstanding season at Denver. Very, very fast, a little switch hitter. He is 3 for 8 so far this year. Batting left-handed. Wind up in Russell's first pitch, and he starts him off with a curve. It's low and inside for ball 1. Steve Boros coaching at first. Ozzie Virgil at third. Here's a pitch. He tries a drag butt. Gets a beauty. Blackwell out, picks it up, throws. He's safe with a drag butt single that wound up about 25 feet on the carpet on the first base side. A beauty. And they better keep an eye on him. He has yet to be thrown out attempting to steal in a Montreal uniform going back the latter part of last year. Had 5 stolen bases a year ago after they brought him up from Denver. This year he has 1 stolen base. He had 77 successful steals at Denver last year. Rodney Scott, a switch hitter, steps in, a peck to first. And Tim Raines is back in safely. Scott 0 for 7 so far this year. He got out of the batter's box, did a little more jogging. He's having a tough time getting warmed up. The sun has come out again. Here's a pitch. Runner doesn't go. He tries a button, misses for a strike. It was not a sacrifice that was put on because Raines was not moving. The coaches are wearing gloves today. Rick into the stretch. Pretty good lead by Raines. He's going to go. Here's a pitch high. Here's a throw by Blackwell to DeJesus. He is safe at second base. Oh, I thought they had him.
I did too. I think DeJesus thought so too.
Yeah.
But when he took off in that slide, he really gained speed. Overslid the bag for just a moment. But DeJesus was late on the second tag also.
His taking a look at the replay, and I guess he might have got 1 foot in there just before he was tagged. So he is yet to be thrown out of the major leagues. He got a great jump and a good throw by Blackwell, but he's in there. The 1-1 pitch. Rodney Scott tries to sacrifice, and he bounces one back, foul out of play. To the count on Scott, ball 1, strike 2. We've just been informed that the coach of the Montreal Canadian hockey team, Claude Ruel, has resigned just a few minutes ago. Here's a pitch. Curve, it's low. Ball 2, strike 2. Claude Ruel, the coach of the Montreal Canadiens hockey team, has just resigned that position. Here's the delivery. Swung on and a bouncing ball. It'll advance the runner to third. Joe Strain at second base is up with it. And Rodney Scott does his job. He gets that runner over to third for the first out in the ball game. And the Expos have a man at third, and Andre Dawson, the center fielder, stepping in. At 308 last year, with 17 homers and 87 runs batted in. And Dawson off to a fast start. 5 hits in 7 at-bats and 2 RBIs. Good job by Scott to get that man along. Here's the delivery. He takes Dawson, a right-hander. Ball outside. Into about 6'3", 192. And he has good speed. They're playing him deep in the outfield. The delivery. And there's a strike call. On this artificial surface, the Aces in about halfway in the left side and Strain about the same on the right. Sidearm fastball swung on. He hits it down to third. Runner will hold. Here's a throw by Reach to Buckner in time. And the man still at third base with 2 gone. Bill Russell getting that sinker working. And had Dawson well out in front of the pitch. A one hopper to third, brings to bat. Dangerous Ellis Valentine. With a few finds last year. There were rumors that they were going to try to trade him. But Dick Williams said before the game today that Valentine has acted as though he really wants to play this year. He is 2 for 9 in the first 2 games that they've had over at Pittsburgh. Infield drops back to normal depth, and a fastball from Russell is a little high to this big right-hander. Valentine, like Dawson, 26 years of age. He had 315 a year ago. 1-0 delivery. Breaking pitch on the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 1. He had 13 homers last year, drove in 67 runs. Missed a good deal of the last part of the season when they were in the pennant race. Right up to the last couple of days of the season. 1-1 delivery. Swung on and a breaking pitch foul over to the Cub dugout. We brought a couple of cups of water out here to the open area for we're broadcasting from about an hour ago.
It was water when you brought
it out. We now have a lot of ice.
Had nothing to go with it.
1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him to retire the side and leave Tim Raines stranded at third. Valentine looking at a breaking pitch. So at the end of 1, no score.
Some people love sports just like we do. That's why we do what we do. We bring these games to you.
Some people love sports just like we do. You bet they do. And that's why Marathon Oil brings all these games to you.
Yeah, people love sports. Hearing them play, rooting them home. All the way, yeah, people love sports. And Marathon brings them to you.
Yeah, we really love sports. And that's why this game is brought to you by the Marathon Oil Company. Because we like what you like. A good game, good friends, and good service for your car. See your Marathon man. He probably likes what you like, too.
Some people love sports.
Yes, they do.
Just like we do.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, people love sports. And Marathon brings them to you.
Marathon Oil Company. Still together, still doing it better.
Your power tools can be very useful around the house, but their usefulness ends where you run out of cord. Hi, Pat Summerall to remind you that True Value hardware stores suggest you extend the usefulness of all your power tools with their own UL-listed extension cords, like the 60-foot double-insulated utility cord for just $7.49. And for a cord that will stand up to the elements, choose the True Value 60-foot all-weather cord for just $8.49. And remember, you can only get them at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Let me tell you, that's great pitching by Russell. When you get a man at third with 1 out and the 3-4 men in the batting order coming up against you, and you shut them out, you're doing a superb job.
Vince, we talked about how much improvement in Blackwell's throwing on attempted steals. He also has improved tremendously behind the plate, calling a great game. And the Cub pitchers certainly acknowledge that when we talk with them.
They have a lot of confidence in him. Steve Henderson, 28 years of age, his first year with the Cubs, was 3 for 9 at Wrigley Field against his old teammates, the Mets, as a run batted in. He's walked 3 times, in addition to those 3 base hits, and struck out twice so far this year. Slender right-hander, veteran Steve Rogers. Getting a sign from Carter. As a right-handed hitting, Steve Henderson steps into the batter's box to open up the second. Here's the windup in the pitch. Fastball, it's low. This is not a great vantage point here in the press box at Olympic Stadium because you're up so high and so far back away, but we are almost directly behind home plate. 1-0 delivery, here it is. Swung on and foul tipped into Carter's mitt. 1-1.
I hope the baseballs don't get dirty because it's quite difficult to follow the ball.
Yes, it is.
Vantage point.
Feels like you're looking down there, diving it through the wrong end of a pair of binoculars. 1-1 delivery. That's a ball low, fastball. In left field is young Tim Raines. 2 veterans in center and right, Dawson and Valentine. The veteran Cromartie at first, Rodney Scott at second, Chris Spire at short, Larry Parrish at third, Gary Carter behind the plate. And a 2-1 delivery. Henderson takes a strike, a fastball. The only ones who did not come up through the farm system in the starting lineup today for the Expos are Scott and Spire. That speaks well for the Montreal Expo farm system. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. He's out in front of that change. Taps it foul down the third base side. Grabbed by big Larry Parrish at third. Butting down in front of the boxes. Bright yellow seats on the first main level. Yellow ones above us, and then deep blue seats elsewhere. Very colorful ballpark, and a huge one. 2-2 delivery. Henderson takes up fastball too high. We'll be here again tomorrow afternoon. Then the Cubs will take off for Philadelphia. 0-2 on Kenny Reitz. Kenny, 29 years of age. No score. The Cubs had a man reach in the first inning when it was 1 away. Joe Strain was hit by the second pitch thrown to him by Rogers. And then he was rubbed out on a 3-1 delivery. He took off, and Buckner hit a low liner to the shortstop. Spire was moving to cover second. While he dropped the liner, he retrieved it right near the bag, stepped there, and then threw the first for the twin killing. Rogers delivers a fastball, and he wasted it low and outside. Ball 1, strike 2. Montreal with a record of 1-1. Half game off the pace in the National League East, tied for second. The Cubs are tied for fifth. 1 game out. 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing. And the breaking ball went into the dirt. Came back away from Carter. Reitz held up in time. Ball 2, strike 2 on him. The Eastern Division is headed up today by the New York Mets. A half-game lead over Philadelphia, Montreal, and St. Louis. And a game lead over the Pirates and the Cubs. 2 out, nobody on. 2-2 delivery. Reaches out, slaps a high fly ball down the right field line. It may drop, but it goes foul. That one bounce winds up in the glove of a customer down the right field line near the Montreal bullpen. Well, Reitz is walking back. Let me remind you kids, if Mom and Dad have been promising to take you out to Wrigley Field, you tell them you want to go on Saturday, May the 2nd. It's jacket giveaway day. You not only get to see the Cubs play the Atlanta Braves, you get a free baseball jacket too. Blue vinyl, the Cub emblem on the front, similar to the one worn by the Cubs players on their uniform. Qualify, you've got to be age 13 or under. There's a swing and a foul ball back out of play. And among the first 15,000 youngsters with fully paid admission, bleacher tickets included. That's Saturday, May the 2nd, jacket day at Wrigley Field. So come on out and join the fun. 2-2 delivery. Reitz takes. Rogers is down too low. Ball 3, strike 2. Only 325 feet down the lines here. 375 in the power alleys. Checks his swing, and he thought he had held up, but that is strike 3. And all Rogers did in the second inning is strike out Henderson, Durham, and Reitz. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score.
America, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Sandwich?
Hot dog.
Pie?
Apple.
And what's your favorite car, America?
Chevrolet.
Let me see, that's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, huh?
Right.
Well, you sure sound like America to me.
We are.
Well, then you better tell me again, because I just might forget.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
That's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Baseball and hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
I think you better tell me again.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Looking for some excitement this season? Well, you're sure to find it on the Baseball Diamond. And it's Chevrolet. Because Chevy's all-star lineup includes Chevette, the best-selling small car in America. And Citation, America's best-selling front-wheel drive. Plus Camaro, Malibu, Caprice, and much more.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
He and the construction crew on McDonald's $10 million Build-A-Big Mac game.
Yeah.
We're always hammering and sawing, and we never get to shake hands with any lucky winners.
Well, let's take a break and meet some right now.
Yeah.
There have been hundreds of Build-A-Big Mac winners in the Chicagoland area. Congratulations to Franklin Harris, who won $25,000. There'll be thousands of other winners, too. Even you.
But you must be at least 16 to play.
Details sales at participating McDonald's. Game scheduled to end May 10th or while supplies last. Void where prohibited.
Gary Carter stepping in. Very popular, talented catcher, 27 years of age, about 6'2". Had 29 homers and drove in 101 runs a year ago. He swings at the first pitch and bounces it out to De Jesus, throws into the dirt, skipped away from Buckner, goes in and out of the dugout, and Carter will be awarded second base. Bad throw by Ivan De Jesus. He had Carter well off balance going out after that breaking ball away from him. And so, for the second straight inning, they have a man in scoring position with nobody out. That for the Cubs, their second error of the year. Larry Parrish, the third baseman, steps in. Let's see how Dick Williams wants to play it. His job, of course, to get Carter over to third. By hook or by crook. He has to take the first pitch way inside a ball. Parrish 3 for 9 so far this year, the same as Carter starting today. Parrish was out for a good deal of the time last year after he was hit on the wrist by a pitch. He takes a strike. Ball 1 and strike 1 on him. Russell delivers a swing and a foul off the bat of this big right-hander. The count goes to ball 1, strike 2. Jim Raines got a drag bunt single to lead off the first inning. Then stole second base, got to third at a ground out, but had to hold as Dawson bounced out and Valentine looked at strike 3. There's a swing, a one-hopper. Hits Russell, turns off him on the carpet to the right side, and everybody will be safe at first and third. And Russell may have been stunned by that one. And again, the trainer, Tony Garofalo, and the manager, Mount Patano, out on the scene to see whether or not a Cub player has been hurt.
You know, Russell's one of the best fielding pitchers in the game. And that ball was hit sharply back to him and carobed off of his side. He says he's okay. We'll continue on. But now, Montreal, with a great scoring opportunity, runners on first and third and nobody out.
That is their second hit of the ball game, and neither has gotten out of the infield. Here's Warren Cromartie, the left-handed hitting first baseman. 3 for 8 at Pittsburgh in the 2 games there. Last year, Cromartie hit .288, 14 homers, 70 runs batted in. Infield hoping for a double play ball. Cromartie takes it. Russell nailed the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Cromartie doesn't believe it. Jerry Crawford, the plate umpire. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. Here's a stretch, the delivery. Swung on, face him through the left side of Montreal. Takes a 1-0 lead on an opposite field single as Cromartie, as the Montreal Expos do so well as a team, went with that pitch away. It's his first run batted into the year. Nobody out, runners at first and second. And that'll bring to bat the veteran shortstop, Chris Spire. So that's the first hit that's got by the infield. Spire 1 for 8 in the 2-game series at Pittsburgh. Hit .265 last year. Only 1 homer and drove in 32 runs. Got a run batted in at Pittsburgh. He takes. Russell's breaking pitch is a ball outside to Spire, a right-handed hitter. He's 30 years of age. Only Rogers, starting the lineup today, any older than Chris in this Montreal ball club. Russell checks a runner at second, the pitch, and he backs away from a ball in tight at the letters. Ball 2, no strikes on Spire. Let's need a double play here with the pitcher, Steve Rogers, coming up next. Spires does not have great speed. Here's a delivery. Hits one, to Strain, he's got it, flipped it to De Jesus, the relay, throws it away. A run scores, and Spire Buckner winds up at second. The second throwing error in the inning by the Cubs. And you can't play giveaway against this kind of a ball club.
Perfectly played double play, except the finish of it. I thought Stade was going to take it himself. He took one step over and then decided, I'll give it to you, De Jesus. He did. Now, this might have created the bad throw by De Jesus. It just caught him out of his rhythm then. And he took a quick short step and threw sidearm. Buckner never had a chance for it. He dove for it. It ended up into the Montreal Expos dugout.
Throwing error against Ivan, his second of this inning. And a runner at second with one out. It's 2-0 Montreal. And here's Steve Rogers stepping in with a runner at second. Not a bad hitter. Takes a pretty good cut at that first pitch and misses for a strike.
Well, Williams gave him one shot. Now I believe that he'll try to sacrifice.
The look at second and the pitch. He just bailed out on that pitch and took about a half swing on it. Lucky he got a piece of the ball. He fouled it back out of play. There is not a run batted in for Spire. The only RBI so far awarded to Cromartie. There, the ball just missing away. 1-2. With the Expos and a pair of errors, an infield hit and a base hit to the outfield. They're leading 2-0. We're in the second. There's a swing and a ground ball to reach at third. He checks the runner at second, throws to Buckner. This time it's on target, and there are two gone. Started the first inning for the Expos getting a beautiful drag bunt single on the first base side. Then he stole second and died at third. Now runner at second. Two gone. The Expos with a 2-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch to Raines. He takes it in tight right at the letters. Batting left-handed. Runner at second. There's a swing and a foul, and that goes out of play. Over to the third base side. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has the right of approval of the announcers, and it's intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited. There's a curve low and inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Russell certainly deserves a better fate than he is enduring here in the second. The big guy delivers. Tim Raines takes in. That's a ball missing blown away to him. So the count goes to 3-1 on Raines with Rodney Scott due up next. Spire in scoring position with 2 gone. Now the stretch. Here it is. Raines a swing and a smash past the third baseman. Here comes the run around third. Here is the throw by Henderson to the plate. He scores standing, and that high throw, which could not be cut off by anybody, permits Raines to go to second. He drives in the third run of the inning with a base hit to the left side, the opposite way, and takes second on Henderson's high throw that came in a one bounce to the plate.
The left-handed hitters of Montreal are not trying to pull Rick today. They're going to the opposite field. And Rick, of course, with great control in and out, they've guessed right thus far in this inning.
Sure have. Here's Rodney Scott. He got the runner over to third. That was Raines in the first inning for the first out of the inning. And now they're 2 gone. Lean, wiry guy. He swings, bounces one past Russell, but Joe Stade at second, gloves it, throws to Buckner, and that retires aside, and he almost threw that one away. Buckner had to scoop it out of the dirt. The arms must be stiff from the cold or something. 3 runs in the inning. 3 base hits, 2 Caballeros, both against De Jesus. 1 man left on. At the end of 2, the Montreal Expos lead the Cubs 3-0.
Well, Lou, we've seen a lot of games together. Tell me, what do you think is the most exciting play to watch?
Vince, I'd have to say the 6-4-3 double play. Seeing the second baseman make the pivot and fire the ball to first is a sight that isn't soon forgotten.
You know, in brewing, there's a double play that's just as exciting. It's the double brewing process that every ounce of Old Style goes through. It's called krausening, and it's the traditional way of brewing, the way the great European beers have been brewed for centuries. You know, you brew a beer once, and you've got a good beer. But brew it twice, and you've got a great light beer. And that's Heilmann's Old Style. Fully krausened, naturally carbonated. It's the most natural way to brew beer. And since it takes more time, the most expensive. It's the only way Old Style has ever been brewed.
So next time, ask for a style. Heilmann's Old Style. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally.
Arkansas has everything you want in a vacation. Sunday's Chicago Tribune will feature the special vacation excitement in store for you this summer in Arkansas.
You can swim in the lakes, you can hike the trails. Let the mountain music take away your cares. See the friendly faces of Arkansas folks, or sit back and enjoy the mountain air.
Look for the special Arkansas vacation section in Sunday's Chicago Tribune. You'll love every minute. You'll love every mile of the natural state, Arkansas.
Well, it's not so far so good, so far so bad. Happy defensive work, and the Cubs find themselves in the hole. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau, let's see if we can't turn things around. Lou, come on.
All right, Vince. Thompson will lead off, hitting 125 for the season. Left-handed hitter. Rogers now with a 3-0 lead. Thompson levels the bat over the plate. First pitch on the way by the right-hander. Swinging a hard ground ball. Pass Spire into left field for a base hit. It's very difficult for the infielders to move today because of the weather. Not only is it below 40 degrees here starting out, they gave us 39 degrees, but the wind is very chilly coming in, and it's already taken a toll, in my opinion, on De Jesus' arm. He just couldn't loosen up, couldn't throw. This ball, Spire tried to move to his right and couldn't, so Thompson gets the first hit of the game off Rogers.
Taking a toll on my cigar, too. It blew it right off this hand over here.
Yeah, I'm taking a toll on my toes, too. They're frozen. Here's Blackwell at bat. The pitch. Low inside, ball 1. Blackwell is batting 0-0-0, looking for his first 1981 Major League hit. Rogers.
Right here.
It's all right. I'll vote for that. The pitch. Outside, ball 2. Blackwell, of course, takes a lot of pitches. He has a good eye at the plate, but sometimes you hope that he would be more aggressive.
Yeah.
And even those pitches that are an inch or two outside, go after. Swing that bat. We have to get some hits and runs. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball into left field. Raines coming in quickly. Spire going out. Spire makes a one-handed catch, moving back away from the infield. Raines, the youngster, should have called him off of it, but did not. And Spire had to make a fine catch. Now here's Rick Russell at bat. Russell's 0 for 2. Expos 3. Cubs nothing. Top of the third inning. Thompson with a lead at first. First pitch to Russell. He's going to bunt. He bunts it foul against the screen. Strike 1. Rick, very fine athlete. Can do most everything well. And that includes swinging the bat. Thompson with the lead. Rogers into the stretch. 1 strike pitch. He's going to swing, but he takes it outside. Ball 1, strike 1. Parrish, the third baseman, did move in on the second pitch. So Russell, in attempting to sacrifice on the first pitch, did the job of moving Parrish in. But then Rogers was far outside with the next pitch. Here's the 1-1 pitch on its way as Rogers checks Thompson first. Fastball swing, tapped down to third baseman. Parrish has to charge it. He does. Fires to first on the run. Russell is out. Thompson advances to second base. Now with 2 outs, it's going to be up to DeJesus to see if he can drive in a run and make up for those 2 errors in the bottom of the second. DeJesus popped to Valentine in right field. His first time at bat. Infielders move back to normal positions. They will try to knock down this ground ball if it's hit within their reach. They do not want this ground ball to get to the outfield. The pitch by Rogers, a curveball at low. Ball 1 to DeJesus. DeJesus levels the bat over the plate. Cookie Rojas taking care of the base runner at second base. That's Thompson. The pitch by Rogers. Fastball into the dirt and blocked nicely by Carter. He went to his knees and blocked it. And a new baseball is being thrown out to Rogers. And now the count is ball 2, no strikes. Strain due up next, hoping to bat in this inning. Rogers holds that ball in the glove up by his chest. Now he goes into the stretch. The pitch. Fastball for a strike taken by DeJesus. 2-1. Thompson opened up the inning with a single to left. Blackwell popped out to Spire in short left. Russell grounded weakly to the third baseman. Thompson advancing to second. So with 2 outs, here's DeJesus at bat, and the ball 2, strike 1 pitch. Fastball, a swing and a fly ball. Right field. Scott is there, backing up, but Valentine, the veteran, runs him off of it and takes the high fly ball for the 3rd out in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base for the Cubs. Expos come to bat, bottom of the 3rd inning, leading 3-0.
It's like this, Helen. I was telling George that it makes more sense to add an addition to our house than it does to sell.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we like the neighborhood. What we need is more space for the kids, not a new house.
Uh-huh.
After all, our home is now worth a lot more money than what we paid for it. I told George that somehow we should be able to use that money for the addition.
You can.
Huh?
You can. With a home equity loan from General Finance. You could borrow as much as $25,000 on the increased value of your home.
Excuse me for a minute, Helen.
I'm going to call George?
Nope. I'm going to call General Finance.
Maybe you should call General Finance. With a home equity loan, you could borrow up to $25,000 on the increased value of your home without affecting your present mortgage. You can use a General Finance home equity loan for an addition, to consolidate bills, or however you see fit.
Call friendly Bob Adams to learn more about General Finance's home equity loans up to $25,000. See the white pages.
If you're looking for a Mother's Day gift that will make Mom's face really light up, give her something that can help lighten kitchen chores. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest you give her the GE Variable Speed Hand Mixer from True Value Hardware Stores. She can dial any of 10 indicated speeds or any speed in between for more precise results. Plus, get extra instant power and speed at the touch of a button to help mix heavy batters. Get the GE Hand Mixer for just $2.99 at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Russell ready to pitch to Dawson, leading off in the 3rd inning for the Expos. First pitch on the way. Curveball, swing and a miss by Dawson. Dawson grounded out to Reitz at 3rd. First time at bat. The pitch, fastball high. The Mets have just come up with 4 runs in the 2nd inning against St. Louis. They lead the Cardinals 4-0 at the end of 2. No home runs reported. And at Comiskey Park, Milwaukee nothing, White Sox nothing. Haas against Burns. Dawson takes inside, and now the count goes to 2-2.
It's Martinez for the Cards and Zachary for the Mets, huh?
Yes. Zachary, if you remember, beat the Cubs on opening day. Swinging a ground ball foul right at the plate.
Sure did. Had a little relief help, but he was tough.
Yes, he was. Boston Red Sox on Perez's first home run of the season, in the first with 1 man on, scored 2 more, and they lead Baltimore 4-1 at the end of 1.5. 2-2 the count on Dawson. The pitch. Curveball hits his bat and goes foul. Russell had him fooled, but nevertheless the ball hit the bat on a half swing or a check swing. Montreal 3, Cubs nothing. Third inning. Checks his swing. They ask for an appeal, and first base umpire Vargo says no. He held up in time, so it goes to a full count of 3-2. The Expos, aided by 2 errors, scored 3 times in the bottom of the second inning. Swing and a ground ball foul at the plate, which is an indication that Rick's fastball is sinking and moving. Dawson now has fouled off 3 or 4 pitches at the plate. He's leading off the third inning. He'll be followed by Valentine and then Carter. 3 very fine right-handed hitters, all 3 with good power. 3-2 pitch. Checks his swing. The ball is inside. Ball 4. That is the first walk of the game by Rick. His 5th of the year already. And now here's Valentine, who was called out on strikes in the first inning. Nobody out. Cubs missed one opportunity for a double play. Let's see if they get another opportunity right here. The first pitch by Rick. There goes the runner, then he stops and comes back quickly, giving a fake break off first base, and the ball was inside to Valentine. Russell tosses over to first, and Dawson is back quickly and safely. Dawson this year has 2 stolen bases already. This is a good running ball club, the Montreal Expos. They have speed, and they execute well. Russell sets. Checks. Dawson throws to first base, and Dawson gets back safely. 1 ball, no strikes. On the batter, Valentine. Once again, the pitch. Valentine swings, going to right field, and fouls that ball out of play. 1-1 to count. We're in the third inning with Montreal leading 3-0. Dawson walks off first base, takes his lead. Right foot on the carpet, off of the dirt. Here's the pitch. It's inside. Ball 2. 2-1 now on Valentine. Two and 1 pitch. Instead, throws to first base, and they get Dawson. Buckner running him towards second, and then touches Dawson. Russell, with a quick move, anticipating an attempted steal or hit and run, picks Dawson off first base. That helps. 1-3. So now with 1 out, the bases are clear, and Valentine, the hitter, and Russell will regain his windup now. The pitch still inside. Ball 3, strike 1. Rick pitching from behind after walking Dawson to start the inning. There's a strike, and it's 3-2. Full count on Valentine. He did not like that call by the plate umpire Crawford. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball foul at the plate. Reeds deep at third. DeJesus deep at short. Strain deep at second, and Buckner at first. The pitch, a swing and a line drive right to Strain at second base, and Valentine is the second out of the inning. 2 outs, and here is Gary Carter. Carter was safe on a throwing error by DeJesus to open up the second inning. Advanced to second base. And then Perry's got an infield hit with Carter going to third. First pitch, strike called. Cromartie singled into left field to get credited for an RBI. And then another error on Spire's ground ball scored the second run of the inning. And Spire scored after Rogers made the second out and Raines singled to left. 3-0. Swing and a tap foul. Now left field line. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Carter. 2 outs, nobody on base. At the present time, only the right fielder in the sunshine. The pitch, sidearm, curveball outside. 2-2 the count. Two and 2 pitch by Rick. Sidearm fastball popped up near the dugout. Buckner moving over quickly, but will not have room. It's back into the second row of box seats. So the count remains 2-2. Carter at the plate has a few words with plate umpire Crawford and also Blackwell. Now Russell is ready, has his sign. 2-2 pitch on the way. Low, ball 3.
Boy, he's thrown a lot of pitches.
Yes, he has. This is not the Russell we've been used to. The pitch. Swing and a pop foul out of play. Back of the plate. Dawson, before he walked, fouled off several pitches. Then Valentine had a count of 3-2 and fouled off 1 pitch before he lines out the screen. And now we have a full count on Carter. So the first 3 men Russell has faced here in the third inning has a 3-2 count. There's a swing, a ground ball to Jesus right. He has it. Throws way off target. De Jesus having trouble with this weather. De Jesus normally a very accurate thrower from shortstop from all positions. He just moved Buckner about 5 yards off of first base down the right field line. And Carter is not considered fast.
Trying to put something extra on it, which he didn't have to do. I think he was more worried about throwing it into the dirt.
Well, now here is Parrish at bat. Carter is on first. Check swing, but the ball is a strike over the outside corner. What did they call that? Did you get a call on that?
I didn't even bother look. I just assumed it's an error. They give him a hit.
Here's a Russell. I don't know. I haven't seen the score.
They've had 5 hits up there for him and 2 errors for the Cubs. They must have given him a hit.
No, that was a gift.
Sure was.
That was a homer decision, let's say. The pitch. High outside. Ball 2, strike 1 to Parrish.
Make Carter happy.
2-1 the count. The pitch to Parrish. Swing and a high pop-up right on the roof. Oh, it goes into the dugout. Buckner was over there, but he was beyond the yellow lines, which they have in front of the dugout, which is an indication that the ball is out of play if it goes in the dugout.
Lou, I don't ever remember seeing De Jesus with 3 throwing errors in a ball game.
No.
I don't know if he's ever had that many in a week before.
Well, he only has 2, but you and I know that was an error. There goes Carter. Here's a swing, a ground ball. Back to Russell. He tosses it to Buckner for the out. So in the inning, no runs, infield hit, 1 man left on base. At the end of 3, Montreal 3, Cubs 0.
I love cars just about as much as music and guitars. Spend as much time with them as I can. I'm your friendly marathon man. Yeah, I really love cars. So does just about everybody I know at the Marathon Oil Company. That's why there's such a big difference in the quality of products and service you get at your Marathon station. It makes a Marathon man happy to give you and your car the best.
We love cars.
Yes, we do.
We love yours, and we love ours.
Tell them, boys.
More than TV or movie stars.
That's right.
We're Marathon men. We love cars.
If your car is as important to you as I think it is, you really ought to give it some love and care and take it to visit your marathon man as often as you can. You know, even cars need to be loved.
We love cars.
That's right. Marathon Oil Company.
We love cars.
He and the construction crew on McDonald's $10 million Build-A-Big Mac game,
Yeah.
we're always hammering and sawing, and we never get to shake hands with any lucky winners.
Well, let's take a break and meet some right now.
Yeah.
There have been hundreds of Build-A-Big Mac winners in the Chicagoland area. Congratulations to Douglas Reber, who won $5,000. There will be thousands of other winners, too, maybe even you.
You can be a winner, too.
Yeah, there's no purchase necessary.
But you must be at least 16 to play.
Details at participating McDonald's. Games scheduled to end May 10th or while supplies last. Void or prohibited.
You know, I remember opening day in 1940 with the temperatures right around 39. 40. When Bob Feller pitched an opening day no-hitter against the Chicago White Sox.
That's only 41 years ago.
My goodness. Now you go back. Here's a pitch to Strain, strike call. My goodness, it is. I remember getting...
What was the final score of that game?
I think it was 3-0. Here's a pitch outside. 1-1. This is WGN Radio, Chicago. Vince Lloyd, and here's Tony Lou Boudreau bringing you the opening game from Montreal for the 1981 season, with the Expos leading the Cubs 3-0. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The count of ball 2, strike 1 to Joe Strain. He'll be followed by Buckner and then Henderson. Pitch by Rogers. Fastball low. Ball 3. Rogers struck out the side in the second inning. He's been on the verge of walking 2 men, but he stayed away from any of his walks thus far. There's a strike over the outside corner, and it's 3-2. Rogers and the Expos with a 3-0 lead. Strain levels a bat over the plate. The pitch on its way. Low, ball 4, so the Cubs have an inning started with the first walk of the game by Rogers. And now here's Buckner, who, with Strain at first base and Strain off on the hit and run, hit a line drive. And fortunately, Spire was moving to his left to cover second when the ball hit his glove, bounced out, and rolled right to second base, where he picked it up, touched second base, and threw to first for the double play. The first break of the ball game right there for Montreal. First pitch is inside to Buckner, ball 1. Strain on first base, and Cromartie is holding him on first base. Rogers has his sign for Carter. Now checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Buckner swings and hits a base hit in the center field. Strain round second will hold up on Dawson, who has a great arm, and he charges the ball well in center field. So Buckner gets his second hit of the 81 season. Cubs have runners on first and second with nobody out. Henderson, the hitter. Henderson struck out in the second inning. And that was the second hit off Rogers. Henderson now, big man here for the Cubs in this inning. He represents the tying run. If he can throw one in between those outfielders, we'll see Strain and Buckner do some running, and also Henderson. Here's the first pitch to Henderson by Rogers. Fastball outside, ball 1. Henderson is being played to hit to right and right center as Dawson, the center fielder, is in right center. Valentine is in straightaway right. He hasn't much room between Dawson and Valentine. Here's the stretch, the pitch. Swing and a ground ball base hit through the middle.
Right.
Here comes Strain around third. Dawson fumbles a ball. Buckner's going to go for third. Here's the throw. Buckner dives. He's safe. And there goes Henderson to second base.
Good.
Great running on the base paths by Buckner and Henderson. Strain scores. It's got to be a single and an error for Dawson. And credit Henderson with his 4th RBI of the season, but more important, he's on second base with a tying run for Durham.
I don't know who that scorer is, Lou, but they haven't put up an error yet for them.
Oh, Buckner had already stopped, I thought, Vic.
Sure he had.
Well, I'm going to
wonder what game the guy is watching down there.
I don't know. Here's the first pitch to Durham. Curveball, low. Now they put it out after somebody questioned the call, I guess. He does get an RBI. Cub runners on second and third. Expos infield back. They will give the Cubs one more run if Durham can hit it past Rogers. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike called over the inside corner. Cubs with 1 run, 3 hits. Expos 3 runs, 5 hits. Now Rogers into the windup. The pitch to Durham. Fastball swing and a ground ball off the bare hand of Rogers. He's going to the plate. Now they have Buckner caught in a rundown. Carter to Parrish to Carter, and Buckner is tagged out.
2. Buckner did a good job there on that rundown, giving those runners time to advance.
Here's the first pitch now to Ken Reitz. Curveball outside and low, ball 1, and Lee, L-E-A, right-hander, starts warming up for Montreal. All right, Kenny, get us right back into this ball game. Expos infielders still playing back. Durham just couldn't get the ball beyond Rogers' reach, or we'd have had another run in. Here's the 1-ball pitch to Kenny Reitz. Fastball outside, and he looks like he's being very, very careful to Kenny. Henderson is on third, Durham on second with 1 out. Expos 3, Cubs 1. Cubs great opportunity right here to get back into this ball game. Rogers looks in, gets a sign from Carter. 2-0 pitch. Fastball swing, a ground ball to Parrish. Bobbles the ball. 1 run will score. There goes Reitz. He's out at first base. Gee, Christmas. He just couldn't get going in this cold weather because Parrish bobbled the ball. The ball rolled at least 3 to 6 feet in front of him, and he still picked it up to throw Reitz out. But the second run of the inning for the Cubs score, Henderson scores, so Reitz gets his first Cub RBI. It's now 3-2, and Durham advances to third for Thompson, who singled to left his first time at bat. Now it's a 1-run ball game. First pitch to Scotty, curveball swing, and a line drive right to Cromartie at first base. He hit the ball right on the nose, and Cromartie goes down to his knees to make the catch. Well, the Cubs come up with 2 big runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. The Expos come to bat, bottom of the 4th inning, leading the Cubs now. Expos 3, Cubs 2.
Smile, that's the way it should be. And I'd like to see the whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke and a smile. Have a Coke and a smile. Have a Coke and a smile. Light up the field, red on me. Turn on the sun. Have a Coke and a smile. That's the way it should be.
America, what do you love best?
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
What was that again?
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Oh.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
That's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, huh?
Baseball and hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. They go together in the girl USA. Baseball and hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Makes sense to me.
The baseball, hot
Cromartie, leading off the bottom of the 4th inning, hit the first ball pitch and hits a weak ground ball down to Buckner, who grabs it, runs up and touches first base for the first out in the inning. And now here is Spire at bat. Out of fielder's choice and safe on an error by DeJesus, as he forced Cromartie at second base. Looked like a double play, but then DeJesus throw went into the dugout. First pitch is low outside. We have a one-run ball game on hand now. Expos 3, Cubs 2. The pitch by Russell. Swing, and there's a foul ball. Line drive down the left field line. 1-1 to count.
He sure had him out in front of that change pretty good today.
Yes, he did. That's his best pitch today. The change, the breaking pitch. Not his fastball. Russell stares in. 1-1 pitch. There's the fastball. It breaks inside. Ball 2. Tough break for the Cubs is when Reitz was thrown out on the ground ball off of Parrish's chest, because had he been on first base, Thompson's next ball would have been a base hit. Here's a line drive right to Durham in right field. Spire lines out to right, because Cromartie would have been holding Reitz on at first.
Well, I can sympathize with Reitz. He digs those legs as hard as he can. Doesn't get anywhere.
And especially in this kind of weather, it looks like you're not moving, and he wasn't moving very fast.
It's frustrating.
2 outs, and Steve Rogers now batting. So this is the second inning in a row. Well, no, it isn't, because Dawson walked in the third. I was going to say that Russell has retired the first 2 hitters. He did retire Dawson eventually by picking him off. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball foul. 1-1 to count now to Rogers.
Should be the first inning he gets him down 1, 2, 3.
And it'll help. I hope so. Russell is ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball, swing, a ground ball to Jesus. Wait a minute now. I'll help him. That's it. It's easy. He's out. So they do go down 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on base in the 4th inning. And at the end of 4, it's Montreal 3, the Chicago Cubs 2.
When you start your garden this spring, don't just scratch the surface. Dig in with the April Tool Value of the Month from True Value Hardware Stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you the True Tempered Dirt Shovel for just $5.99 features a hollow-back tempered steel blade with a round point that cuts into garden soil easily, then sheds dirt cleanly. The rolled shoulders help provide more comfortable footing when digging into hard ground, and the lightweight, well-balanced design helps make the job less tiring. Plus, this True Tempered Dirt Shovel from True Value Hardware Stores features a long, fire-hardened ash handle to help provide better reach and leverage. And right now, in time for spring planting, the True Temper Round Point Dirt Shovel is just $5.99 while supplies last at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers. And you'll save gas and time by shopping close to home, because you won't have to drive all over town to find those special prices on the items you need. So for values, for selection, and for service, shop at your nearby True Value Hardware Store or home center.
Every day is discount day at Eagle. Eagle, one for your $2 every day. Every day is savings day at Eagle. Eagle, got your budget easily, buying only quality. Every day is discount day at Eagle.
We are now going into the 5th inning. And Tim Blackwell, who is still looking for his first hit of the year, he's 0 for 11 so far this season, is going to lead off. He'll be followed by Rick Russell, then the top of the batting order. Vince Lloyd here with you at Olympique Stadium. The sun is shining, but only the right fielder of the Montreal Expos is getting the benefit of the sun on this frigid afternoon. Fastball to him, and he swings and fouls it down the left field line out of play. Having breakfast with Billy Williams this morning, talking about Blackwell 0 for 11. Billy said, thought it was 1967. He went hitless in his first 25 times to the plate that year. He wound up hitting over 300. 0-1 delivery. Curveball, and it's low. Ball one, strike one. Wind is gusting right now. 1-1 delivery. Swung on, and another foul ball down the left field side. He can't get around on Rogers' fastball. Milwaukee leading the White Sox 2-1 in Chicago this afternoon. And the New York Mets leading the Cardinals 4-2 in the fourth inning at New York with St. Louis at bat. 1-2 pitch. That's a ball low and inside. The count goes to ball two, strike two. Boston leading Baltimore 4-2 at Fenway Park in the bottom of the third. And Torres is out of the ball game for the Red Sox. Stanley has relieved him in the third inning. Here, Rogers and Russell have gone the distance so far, but both have been throwing a lot of pitches. 2-2 delivery. Blackwell takes ball three, down too low. Well, they got a wool liner in this coat and a big Turkish towel. Compliments of our engineer put around the neck. 3-2 pitch swung on. It drives down the left field line, and that's going to be his first hit of the year. It bounces off the blue wall. Left fielder Raines picks it up, gets it in. But it's a double down the left field side for Tim Blackwell, and the Cubs have the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. And Amalfitano comes out of the dugout to talk to the plate umpire, Jerry Crawford. He's going to make a couple of switches here, apparently. When he came out of there, must be an injury to him. I wonder if it's a finger or something. Mike Tyson is going to bat for him. Mike Tyson. He is lifted, pinch hitter, because of an injury. They may need extra time and get extra time for Bill Caudle, who is warming up in the bullpen. Tyson batting left-handed, swings, and he hits one over the third baseman's head down the left field line, and here comes a tying run. Blackwell to the plate. Raines is throw, too late. Throw to second base by Parrish. Runners in there safely, and the Cubs have the go-ahead run in scoring position as Tyson comes through with an opposite field little blooper on the carpet, driving in Blackwell. And the Cubs have tied it at 3-3, and everybody's out of that dugout greeting Blackwell. That's the kind of spirit you love to see, and the kind of spirit that was not evident last year. So it's a brand new ball game. Tyson batting left-handed, going the opposite side, in his first official trip to the plate. Drives in a run. And now Ivan DeJesus stepping in. So each team with 3 runs and each team with 5 base hits. First pitch of the ball to Ivan. We're in the 5th. Ivan 0 for 2 against Rogers, and he takes the ball low and inside, a fastball. Rogers overthrew that one. Pitching coach Galen Cisco is coming out of their dugout to have a word with him. Well, Cisco is talking to Rogers out there, and Gary Carter, the catcher. Tyson's going to get out of the cold. He's running off second base, going into the dugout. Nope, he's not going to get there. He's going to talk to Rojas, the third base coach, to see what they want to do. For a moment, it might be over for Rogers, too. Charlie Lee has been throwing in their bullpen. He got up in the last inning and is throwing again out there now. Ivan twice has been retired by the right fielder, Ellis Valentine, the last time he popped up to him.
Now a 2-0 pitch coming up with a go-ahead run in scoring position and nobody out in the 5th inning. Now Rogers is ready, kicks, delivers, and Ivan swings and a bouncing ball over the pitcher's mound and permits the runner to get to third. Here's the peg by Spire over to first for the first out in the 5th inning. But Ivan gets that man to third. Joe Strain now will be the hitter. Strain was hit by a pitch his first time at bat, then rubbed out when Buckner, on a 3-1 delivery with the runner going, hit a hard smash, a low liner. The shortstop Spire was moving to cover at second base, and he turned out to be in a perfect spot. Had the ball in the glove, dropped it, but picked it up right near the bag at second. Stepped there for the force, then threw to the first baseman, Cromartie, for the double play. Strain led off the 4th inning by drawing a walk, his 4th walk of the season, and he scored the Cubs' first run of the day. He came in on Steve Henderson's base hit into center field. Infield is in, the pitch. Ball down too low to Strain, right-hander. To purchase Cub tickets by mail, merely send a check or money order, $6.50 for box seats or $5 for reserve grandstand of the ticket office at Wrigley Field, Chicago, 60613, and add $1 for postage and handling with your order. There's a strike call over the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Infield is in all the way on this carpet, just as though they were playing on natural grass. If we can avoid hitting one directly at him, it should get into that outfield. There's a swing and a foul, and that goes into the Cub dugout behind third. Joe Strain steps out of the batter's box with a count of ball 1, strike 2. Well, the wind is blowing papers all over it. Let's get that guy in and take the lead. Ball 1, strike 2 pitch. Here it is. Strain swings and a base hit into left field. The Cubs lead 4-3. Mike Tyson comes jogging up the line. A Strain drilled one between Spire and Parrish and hit it hard. So Joe Strain has batted in his first run for the Cubs. Hit number 6 off Steve Rogers. And with one out, Bill Buckner stepping in. After hitting that low liner that wound up in a double play, Buck singled into center field in the 4th inning and sent Strain to second base. Rogers will work from a stretch. Strain a short lead at first. Here's the pitch. Left-hander takes the ball too high. Rogers struck out Henderson, Durham, and Reach in the 2nd inning. He was really sharp in that frame. Cubs had a man out of the 3rd, got 2 runs in the 4th, and now they picked up 2 runs here in the 5th and have a man on at first base with 1 away. Buckner swings. Ground ball to the shortstop to Jesus. Steps in the bag. Throws to first. And another double play. Spire to Cromartie. He snaked it. But the Cubs settled for a fair on 3 hits in the inning and nobody left on. At the end of 4.5, the Cubs lead Montreal 4-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk with the chairman of Nicky Cat Litter Industries, Inc., Nicky himself. Where is he?
I'm sorry, sir. He's indisposed at the moment.
Indisposed? You mean he's on the
Hearn.
The Hearn.
That's right. You know...
In there?
That's right, sir.
And you are?
His secretary, sir.
The cat has a secretary?
Yes, sir. I'm secretary to the chairman.
Oh, well, perhaps you could tell us about this new Nicky Cat Litter.
Well, sir, it's all on the bag there.
I see. Nicky Cat Litter Breakthrough U.S. Patent Number 4007708.
That's right.
Guaranteed to stop odors longer or your money back.
Yes, sir.
Longer or your money back.
Yes, sir.
And the cat on the bag, reading the newspaper, sitting on the...
the Hearn.
The Hearn?
That's Nicky himself, sir.
Sitting on the...
the Hearn.
The Hearn. He even put his picture on the bag sitting there, huh?
He has a good sense of humor, sir.
Nicky Cat Litter stops odors longer or your money back. Just look for the bag with Nicky sitting on the...
Hearn.
The Hearn.
The Hearn.
Be sure to read your guarantee.
In God's country, there's a beer unlike any other. A beer that is fully croissant in the old world way. It's the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. But we don't aim to make the most beer, only the best. Heileman's Old Style, pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. G. Heileman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Bill Caudle, the new Cub pitcher, and as I surmise, when Ralph Patano sent Tyson into pinch hit and had called the plate umpire over to the Cub dugout, and Russell had joined him there, was an injury. We've just been informed by Jimmy Davidovich, the Cubs traveling secretary, has been in contact with the dugout, that the injury to Russell was a split in the finger of his index hand, and split that skin apparently because of the cold weather. And hopefully Rick will not have to miss his next turn. But it could well be that that will happen. So Bill Caudle, a hard-throwing right-hander, getting his warm-up tosses. And because of the injury to Russell, he can take as many as he deems necessary. He will be facing the top of the Montreal batting order. Cubs were down by 3 and now lead by 1. This for Bill, his second appearance of the season. He worked 2 2/3 innings in relief against the Mets. One ball game. Gave up a couple of walks, struck out a couple of men, gave up no hits or runs. Here he is working in the early relief on a very cold day at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. And they did not sell out today. They had expected, with good weather, which they had on Monday, but unfortunately that was an off day. They had expected to have a sellout for this lid lifter, which was washed out yesterday and postponed until today. Now Caudle starts the windup. Tim Raines, batting left-handed, takes the first pitch of ball a little bit low. Raines, a bunt single his first time at bat, and then a base hit into left field that drove in a run his second time up, so he was 2 for 2 against Russell. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and a drive foul down the left field line. Harem's off the wall in front of the box seats down there, out to the left fielder, Steve Henderson. That levels the count at 1-1 on Tim Raines, who spent most of last year at Denver and really earned his way up here to the majors. Good young ball player with fine speed and a pretty good bat. Wind up by Caudle, the 1-1 delivery. Raines, a big swing and a foul. It's out of play. Over to the seats way back on the third base side, and the count goes to ball 1, strike 2. We'll be here again tomorrow. And Scott Sanderson from suburban Chicago, Northbrook, Illinois, telling me before the game today that he is going to be pitching tomorrow against his Cubs. 1-2 delivery. Here it is. That's a ball into the dirt. 2-2. Clinton McLaughlin is scheduled to go for the Cubs here tomorrow. Count is even at 2-2. The left-handed hitting young Tim Raines. Switch hitter. Here's the delivery. Swung on. It's a ground ball to Strain at second base. Makes the peg to Buckner for the out. And with the bases empty before Rodney Scott steps into the batter's box, let's take time out for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago, radio home of millions throughout mid-America. 53 degrees at O'Hare Field at 29 minutes past 2.
Vince Lloyd here with you at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Scott is bounced out twice to Strain at second. Rodney, a switch hitter, lean and wiry. First pitch to him was a ball. Caudle fires, and that's a strike call. One delivery. Swung on, he hit him round in the fist, and he bounces it out to Caudle on the hill. Peg over to first base, and Scott is out easily. A one-hopper back to the mound, and Dawson steps in with the bases empty. Bounced out to reach at third in the first inning when they had a man at third with one out. The runner had to hold. Dawson led off the third by drawing a walk against Russell, and Rick made amends for that by picking him off a few moments later. So officially, Dawson is 0 for 1 today. 5 hits in his first 8 trips to the plate so far this season. Hit over 300 last year. Curve, and it's into the dirt for a ball. And he had 17 home runs a year ago. Veteran center fielder, 26 years of age, about 6'3", 192. Here's a pitch. Fastball swung on, and a high pop-up. Buckner coming up the line, calling for the ball. Caudill thinks that Reach should be getting it. He lost the ball. He was hollering at Reach on the third base side. Buckner had his eye on it, fortunately, all the way. Made the catch on the first base side. So they go down 1-2-3. The Cubs come to the plate at the end of 5, leading Montreal 4-3.
You know, Tom, I'm sitting on top of a gold mine.
That's swell, Ed.
Yeah, except for one problem.
What's that?
I can't get at the gold unless I sell the mine.
Wait a minute. Ed, what are you talking about?
My house.
Your what?
My house. Oh. Look at it this way. The difference between what I still owe on my mortgage and what my home is worth today is a lot of money.
Right. That's your equity.
Right. But how can I use that money without selling the house or refinancing my mortgage?
With a General Finance home equity loan.
Keep talking, Tom.
Well, with a home equity loan from General Finance, you could borrow up to $25,000.
$25,000. Tom, I think I just struck it rich.
With the General Finance home equity loan, you may be able to borrow up to $25,000. You can use a General Finance home equity loan however you see fit.
Get all the information by calling the home equity specialist at General Finance. See the white pages in the office nearest you.
He and the construction crew on McDonald's $10 million Build-A-Big Mac game.
Yeah.
We're always hammering and sawing, and we never get to shake hands with any lucky winners.
Well, let's take a break and meet some right now.
Yeah.
There have been hundreds of Build-A-Big Mac winners in the Chicagoland area, and our congratulations to Tom Zambolo, who won $100. There'll be thousands of other winners, too, maybe even you.
No purchase necessary.
But you must be at least 16 to play.
Details of participating McDonald's games scheduled to end May 10th or while supplies last. Void where prohibited. Cubs leading 4-3. And here in the 6th inning, Steve Henderson, who has batted in a run with a base hit and scored a run, will lead off. He'll be followed by Leon Durham, Kenny Reeds, and maybe a few more. Cubs have out-hit the Expos 6-5. Steve struck out against Steve Rogers when he led off the 2nd inning, then got the base hit in the 4th that drove in Joe Strain. Takes the first pitch, a curve, it's inside. So Steve with 2 RBIs for the Cubs this year. 4 hits and 11 at-bats. Ball 1 pitch coming up to the right-hander, and he takes it low. Mets continue to lead the Cardinals 4-2 at the end of 5 innings of play in New York. 4-2, the Mets. 2-0 pitch, here it is. He takes a strike, a good fastball. 2-1. Rogers steps back, starts the line, the delivery to Steve, and he almost hit him. Got back out of the way just in time. Stewart now pitching for the Orioles in the 4th inning. And a count of ball 3, strike 1 on Henderson. Ball 4. He threw that one outside. White Sox have taken a 3-2 lead over Milwaukee in Chicago today. That Baltimore-Boston game, the Red Sox have a 4-2 lead. So the Cubs, leading here by 1 run, have a man on as a result of the walk to Henderson to open up the inning. And again, the Montreal bullpen will go to work. And Durham, 1 for 12 with the Cubs, stepping into the batter's box. Runner goes, and they hit and run, and a swing. And a high fly ball into shallow center field is caught out there, and hurrying back in time to first base is Henderson. Dawson making the catch on it. Well, while we have very frigid conditions here today, we had the top ice off the carpet in areas this morning. The forecast for tomorrow, the final game of the series, we hope is an accurate one. Weatherman here says it's going to be sunny and clear in Montreal tomorrow and warm up to about 60 degrees. That'll seem like a heat wave. Reed stepping in. Rogers' first pitch, and he takes a fastball high. Ball one. Struck out in the his first time at bat today. And in the fourth inning, hit a hard smash in and out of the glove of Parrish, who scrambled and picked it up and still managed to throw Reedsy out. He swings and misses. Oh, one strike one. Well, it'd be nice to pick up another run or two. And the sooner the better. Rogers into the stretch. 1-1 delivery. Throw to first base at Durham. It's back in time. Or Henderson, I'm sorry. Reach gripping the bat at the knob. He's 4 for 11 so far this year. There's a swing and a high foul. It's back out of play. They are continuing to proceed with the construction of the office complex that will serve as an anchor if they ever get it finished over there for the roof that is still being stored over in France. An umbrella roof. Supposed to come down to the stadium. There's a swing and a ground ball to Parrish's left. Goes to second for one and no relay to first base. So it's a fielder's choice preventing Reach to get out at first base while Henderson is forced at second. On a ground ball, Parrish to Rodney Scott. Scott Thompson, who has hit the ball hard twice today, got a single in the third inning when he led off and hit a blistering line drive in the fourth, but it went right into the glove of the first baseman, Cromartie, steps in. So he's swinging the bat very well today. First pitch. Scotty takes a strike right at the knees on the inside corner to the left-handed hitter. He was swinging the bat with good authority in Arizona during spring training. Here's a delivery. Rogers changed speed on him, and he tried to hold up. He did. But when he's finally swung, he made contact, and all he could do is foul it back out of play. The Rogers is out in front of Thompson, 0-2. The base runner at first with 2 gone. Kenny Reitz. Here's the pitch. Thompson takes it into the dirt. Carter scrambles, prevents a wild pitch. Ball 1, strike 2. You know, last year, Kenny Reitz made only 8 errors, the fewest by any third baseman in 105 years of National League history. You'll find that and a whole lot more in the way of interesting statistics about the Cubs of 1981 and the Cubs roster book. Get your copy by sending $3.50 by check or money order to the roster book, Wrigley Field, Chicago, 60613. That's $3.50. That includes the cost of postage and handling. Message furnished by the Chicago Cubs. For leading the Montreal Expos, the first meeting between the two teams this year, 4-3, we're in the top of the 6th inning. Now Rogers is ready, delivers. Scott Thompson swings and bounces one foul down the first base side. So the count stays at 1-2. Well, that young Valenzuela of the Dodgers really something. Shutout last night. He struck out 10 men. The Dodgers remain unbeaten, as do the Oakland A's in the American League Western Division. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and a drive going down the left field foul line. Raines coming over in a hurry, and he is unable to make the catch as he went right up against the wall in left field with that great speed he is, trying to get a glove under that ball. We did not see Valenzuela pitch
in Arizona in the one game the Cubs and the Dodgers played this year, but I was talking to Dick Williams about him today, and he said, I saw him, and he said he is a dandy. His control is unbelievable, and he's just 20 years old, a rookie. 1-2 pitch. Thompson goes after it, hits a high pop-up. Spire coming in from the shortstop position is under it, makes the catch on the carpet, and the Cubs are retired. We move to the bottom of the sixth. It is still the Cubs 4 and the Expos 3.
America, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Sandwich?
Hot dog.
Pie?
Apple.
And what's your favorite car, America?
Chevrolet.
Let me see, that's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, huh?
Right.
Well, you sure sound like America to me.
We are.
Well, then you better tell me again, because I just might forget.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
That's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Baseball and hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
I think you better tell me again.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
In case you're wondering, this commercial is brought to you by baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and America's favorite car.
They go together in the good old USA. Baseball and hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Makes sense to me.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
See, it works like this. These things called cars, they got engines in them. And because they got engines in them, you've got to take care of them. Meaning you've got to put the best oil in them you can get.
Marathon Motor Oil.
Marathon makes a motor oil that's exactly what your car needs to make it run like it should when it's taking you where you've got to go.
Marathon Motor Oil.
Oh, it is really cold. And wind continues to blow. And the way the stadium is constructed, it's at a semicircular. It just seems as though the wind funnels around and follows the contours of this thing and really whips into the press box. Wide open. Well, it could be a whole lot worse. It could be snowing. Or the Cubs could be trailing. Ellis Valentine, the cleanup hitter for Dick Williams Expos, is going to lead off against reliever Bill Cottle as we're going into the sixth inning. Against Russell, he looked at strike three and he lined out to Stade at second. First pitch and a strike on him. Russell put the finger of his index hand, had to be taken out of the ball game for a pinch hitter, Mike Tyson, who delivered a run-scoring hit. 0-1 delivery, swung on at a high pop foul over the first base side. That's going to be way back into the seats out of play. 0-2. Carter due up next, and then Larry Parrish. Three tough hitters. Pretty much homegrown, Montreal ball club. They've got their fans up here, understandably, very excited about the 1981 season. Strike two delivery from Cottle, and he wasted a fastball low and away. Dick Williams says he would still like to pick up another catcher. He is going with only two. And he's still looking for some help in the bullpen. 1-2 delivery. Swung on and missed for strike three. Low fastball by Valentine, who has struck out for the second time today. Now, Cottle has faced four men and retired all four. Now he goes against Carter, who reached the lead off the second inning on Ivan de Jesus, two-base throwing error. Then he was credited with a single in the third inning when he hit a grounder to de Jesus, who threw it very wide of the mark. But a very generous scorer here at Montreal. Instead of tagging Ivan with an error, which I think he should have had, he credited Carter with a base hit. But nothing developed from it. He was left stranded. Pitch of the ball. Here's the windup, the delivery, and a swing. There's a solid fly ball to center field. Should be caught. Thompson under it. He's there, and he's got it. It's about as well hit as anything we've had today. Kind of hard to tell
hear just exactly which way the wind is blowing because of the way this roof comes out over so much of the field with that long elliptical opening right at the top. There are no flags up there that you can really get a good look at. The ones that are there under the rim that the umbrella roof will be eventually attached to. We hope in our time. But it appeared to be blowing in where the guidons were moved about when the bands were performing before the game today. Parrish in there. The first pitch to him is strike. And there's another one to this big right-hander who signaled and scored in the second inning. 0-2 the count with 2 out of the bases empty. 6th inning, Montreal at bat. Bill Caudle into the windup. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and Caudle has faced 6 men in 2 innings of relief. You can't do any better. End of 6. The Cubs come to the plate, still leading the Montreal Expos 4-3.
The question is foremost in just about every homemaker's mind these days is how to economize. How do you serve your husband and family nutritious food in plentiful portions without going over the food budget? Well, one way, and a mighty good way, is to serve plenty of Martha White cotton pick and cornbread. Made from Martha White's cotton pick and cornbread mix, it's Southern cornbread at its very best. Crunchy and golden brown on the outside, tender and moist in the middle.
We are back at Olympic Stadium. Cubs have rallied from a 3-run deficit to take a 4-3 lead as we move into the 7th inning. It'll be nice to add to it. Tim Blackwell led off the 5th inning when the Cubs got the lead with a double down the left field line. And he came in when pinch hitter Mike Tyson, batting for the injured Russell, got a little blooper into left field, brought him in, and he took second on the throw, and then Tyson was able to score on the base hit off the bat of Joe Strain. First pitch to Tim, and it's a ball. That was Blackwell's first hit of the year. He had gone 0 for 11. 1-0 delivery from Rogers, and he takes ball 2. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you at Olympic Stadium on a very, very cold day. Jack Minovich, our producer. 2-0 pitch swung on, and a ground ball to Scott at second base. Rodney's pegged over to first in time. Cubs got on the board with a pair in the 4th inning, and 2 more in the 5th to take the lead. Now Bill Caudle, the young reliever, who has pitched 2 perfect innings so far today, is going to step into the batter's box. A right-handed hitter. Scott Sanderson, scheduled to go tomorrow, when they tell us it's going to be around 60 degrees in sunny weather. I don't believe them. Well, every once in a while, a forecaster in weather, just like a sportscaster, is right. Doesn't happen often, but once in a while. Only Tom Skilling is right all the time. I agree there. One delivery. Caudle's going to take, and that's the strike. Boy, Mike Norris pitched a super game. Stan Monson throwing in their bullpen now. There's a swing and a base hit past the pitcher into center field. The old thumper Bill Caudle smashes another one. His first hit of the year. Don't remember whether he had any last year or not. That'll bring up Ivan, who's looking for his first hit of the year, of the day, not of the year. It's grounded to short and flied out twice to the right fielder. Charlie Lee, who was up throwing a couple of times earlier, is down there with Bronson in the Montreal bullpen. Caudle has the heavy one-breaker on at first base. Hopefully he'll get to do a little running. That'll help keep him warm also. So Ivan, who has been guilty of 2 throwing errors today and could have been charged with a 3rd, except for a pretty generous score, steps in looking for his first hit of the afternoon, and he takes a strike. Normally an extremely dependable fielder. Here's the delivery. That's a ball, a little low and away, a fastball. 1-1. Milwaukee, the White Sox are tied at 3 in their ball game in Chicago. What a dramatic opener for the Sox yesterday. 1-1 delivery. Swung on a missed. A good breaking pitch by Rogers. Ball down and away. Ball 1, strike 2. Two teams still unbeaten in the majors. Oakland 6-0. The Dodgers 5-0. There's a ball outside of the knees. Ball 2, strike 2. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Bill Caudle, the base runner at first for the Cubs. 1 gone, and a count of 2-2 on shortstop Ivan De Jesus. Rogers gets his sign from Carter, goes into the stretch, delivers. Ivan swings, and a bouncing ball back at third, gets away from Parrish. Gets into foul territory, and we have runners at first and second. He acted like he wasn't able to pick up the bounce of that ball. Well, he couldn't see it.
You know, Vince, when we got here this morning, as you mentioned, there was ice behind home plate. Also, the dirt part of the infield.
That was frozen.
We're frozen, right?
Yeah. They had the smallest little heaters out there. The flame came through a pipe that seemed to be about 2 inches in diameter. And that's how they were trying to thaw that dirt around the bases and around the plate. There's a swing by Joe Strain, and he fouls one back out of play. The Parrish is charged with an error, preventing Ivan to reach. That's their second error of the day. Caudle is at second base. Joe Strain, been hit by a pitch, has walked and singled, scored a run, is 1 for 1 officially today in the batter's box with a strike 1 count. 1 out, runners at first and second, 4-3 score. Cubs have the 4. Rogers pitch. Strain checked his swing, and it's a strike, a fastball. So he's in the hole, 0-2.
You know, we started out with close to 40,000 here today, but right now I'd say 20,000 has left.
They may have some warm refreshment stands down below. I don't know. I only can envy these people. Never mind, you still have a yard. I got a supper, so do you. I know they have a tremendous popcorn machine down there. Milo Hamilton was checking that out first thing this morning. 1-2 delivery. That's a slow curve, low and outside. 2-2. Brickhouse says he is limiting Milo to only 3 bags of popcorn a game this year.
Milo's holding out for 4, too.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
They call Ray Shore snacks, huh? Let's have a base hit. Caudle in scoring position. Rogers delivers. Strain swings and misses. He got him. That looked like a slider. First time that Joe has been kept off the bases today, and with 2 out, it's up to Buckner. He's hit into 2 double plays, and in between, he's singled, sending Strain to second. Strikeout number 4 by Rogers, and his first one since he struck out the side in the second inning. Come on, Buck, let's have a hit. We need some insurance runs. The pitch. Takes a little high, fastball. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. We hope you're enjoying it. Runners at first and second, 2 gone, top of the 7th inning. Ooh, a base hit would help. Here's a pitch. Takes a strike right at the knees at the inside corner. 1-1. Steve Henderson hoping to get a chance to bat in this inning in the on-deck circle over in the third base side. Buckner thumps the bat in the plate. Rogers hands at the chest, looking over the left side to get his side. Now goes into the stretch. And a 1-1 delivery. Swung on and foul. Sharply back out of play. 1-2. We'll be on with you again tomorrow afternoon, half hour earlier than today. And then we'll be playing the Philadelphia Phillies at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Then at St. Louis, 3-day games down at St. Louis against the Cardinals, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. 4-3, Cubs leading. We're in the top of the 7th with runners at first and second and 2 out. And a count on Buckner of ball 1, strike 2. Rogers delivers. Buckner takes it low and inside. It's 2-2. Cubs have 7 hits. The Expos 5. Each team has been charged with 2 errors. Montreal got 3 runs in the second inning with a lot of help from the Cubs, primarily from the Juan de Jesus. So a count of 2-2 with 2 out and 2 on. Rogers delivers. Buckner swings, gets under it, lifts a high fly ball. Rodney Scott backpedals into shallow right field, hauls it in, and the Cubs are retired. 2 men are left stranded, 1 hit and an error. 7th inning stretch at Olympic Stadium, and the Cubs lead the Montreal Expos 4-3.
Say, remember that battle cry of the protest movement back in the 60s? Never trust anyone over 30. Well, we're happy to say that Farmers Insurance Group puts a great deal of trust in drivers over 30. Farmers knows that drivers between the ages of 30 and 60 tend to be safer and more careful on the highway. You're the drivers who have fewer accidents. So why should you be sharing the high costs of bad drivers? So Farmers Insurance Group, FIG, may be able to give you special consideration on your car insurance with their special money-saving 30 over 60 policy. If you qualify, you could save substantially on your premiums. And that's especially helpful in these days of runaway inflation. Farmers is constantly working to keep the cost of insurance down and the amount of protection up. So while they can't do much about the price of gasoline, oil, repairs, or parking, they can help out the cost of operating your car with their special 30-60 policy. Call your nearest fast, fair, and friendly Farmers agent today. The number is in the yellow pages. And isn't it nice to know it pays to be over 30?
Some of you aren't playing McDonald's $10 million Build a Big Mac game because you say, I never win anything.
Well, let's drill some holes in that old excuse.
You can win a bundle,
But you gotta play.
even win $100,000.
And brother, that ain't hay. Over 200,000 prizes available every day.
Ranging from a Big Mac sandwich to Coca-Cola to $100,000 and no purchase required.
So give up your...
What? You're a sawhorse.
And play.
Okay, I'll play.
Must be at least 16 to play. Details at participating McDonald's. Game scheduled to end May 10th or while supplies last. Void where prohibited.
Bill Caudle has worked 2 innings in relief of Rick Russell, who had to leave after splitting the skin on the index finger of his throwing hand. Let's take a moment here before Montreal comes to the plate, the bottom of the 7th, for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago, radio for millions throughout Mid-America. It's 3 o'clock in Chicago.
Back in the second inning, Warren Cromartie got a single and drove in a run to put Montreal on the board. Then he bounced out of the 4th. The left-hander leads off. Caudle's first pitch. Fastball, and he kicks it outside for ball 1. Bullpen is going to work for the Cubs. Wind the pitch. Swung out. A best to level the count. The crowd is really hooping it up. Listen to him holler. 1-1 pitch. He takes it low. Ball 2, strike 1. They are extremely enthusiastic here at Montreal. They really are in a ball game. 2-1 delivery. Wanted a bunt and he missed.
And he went after a high pitch.
Sure did.
Helped us out then.
Thank you, Warren.
Yes, sir. Count would have been 3-1.
Got Breach dancing down there at third. He's just trying to keep warm.
So am I.
2-2 pitch. He takes it low and outside. It's 3-2. With that Montreal knitted stocking cap help your noggin. You, Pete Fee, Jimmy Davidovich are wearing those things. Traitors, that's what they are. 3-2 pitch. Swung on a foul. Back on the play. Well, they didn't have any cup caps up here, I guess. But I brought my own. Red and black knitted stocking cap with me. I don't know where I got this thing. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. Boy, am I grateful. I think it's the first time we've ever worn knitted stocking caps in a baseball game.
Well, there's always a first time for everything, they say.
3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. He went feeling for a pitch away from him. Strikeout number 3 for Bill Cottle in 2 in the third innings. His first fire will be looking for a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Steve Rogers. I don't mind having a big nose, except on a day like this. Gets out there so far, the blood never gets to it.
But you're lucky you got just as big a cigar. Helps you out, keeps you warm.
Wind wouldn't blow it out all the time. But it's a beautiful day. There's the ball in too close to Spire at the knees.
I know you were happy when Montreal scheduled these day games.
Yeah, what a great restaurant we went to last night, huh? Do you remember?
Very nice. I think.
That's a swing and a 2 bouncer to the aces. On target now, Ivan. That's a boy. Practice makes perfect. All right. Yeah, let's see. He's got Montiez down there. He's got Tommy Hutton. He's got Roland Office among his left-handers. He's got Jerry White, a switch hitter. How about a Dick Williams? Who are you going to call on? Montañez? Yep. Willie Montañez. Very colorful guy and a good veteran ball player. Boy, they got enough first basemen on this club, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They must have 4. 3 or 4, I know.
Willie.
Good reads. He's jogging to second base.
Yeah.
Now jogging back to third, trying to keep it warm. He's running faster now than what he tried to run down to first base. Isn't that something?
I tell you, it scares you for the ball players, Lou, in this kind of weather because they make a quick, sharp move down there. You're cold. It's so easy to pull a muscle.
Oh, very easy. Jesus keeping his throwing hand, his right hand, in his hip pocket, trying to keep it warm.
In our case, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have any muscles to pull. But
now, wait a minute. Now, talk for yourself. I just pulled one getting up from the chair.
Did you have that lobster souffle last night?
Oh, no. I had the veal with ham and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
The delicious.
Yeah.
The cheese right on top of that veal.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Not too bad. You couldn't say no to the dessert.
Well, I tell you, for $40, that wasn't a bad meal.
Yeah.
Montanez takes, and that's a strike. Willie is 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter over at Pittsburgh. Struck out and got a base hit. Strike 1 delivery. Way outside. 1-1. Stories that were told last night. 1-1 pitch. Takes a rip and one down and in and misses. See, we had 7 of us there, didn't we?
Yes.
Pete Meade, Joe Goddard from the Sun-Times, Dave Nightingale from the Tribune, Mr. Brickhouse, Mr. Hamilton, you and I. Is that all?
That's all.
1-2 pitch is a ball outside. 2-2. And all of the stories were truthful.
You want to bet?
Forgive me, Lord.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Swung on, and Willie fouls it back out of play.
Well, I think, in essence, we were honoring a great man.
Yeah, the Bob Elson stories.
Bob Elson stories by Milo and Jack Brickhouse were just great.
A lot of them.
Tremendous.
2-2 pitch is on its way. Montanez, all that on strikes and a fastball. 4 strikeouts by Bill Caudle, who has pitched 3 perfect innings. Fans were going into the 8th at Olympique Stadium in Montreal, and the Cubs lead the Expos 4-3.
Well, we've covered a lot of teams and a lot of ballparks, and it always seems that the first thing you do when you get to any park is study the lineup.
Well, Vince, the lineup can tell you about the team. Things like who's hitting, who's in a slump. It's all right there.
You know, it's the same with the Old Style label. It tells you a lot about the beer, like the fact that Old Style is brewed with sparkling, pure spring water, virgin water from deep beneath the ground. Look a little further, and you'll see the words, fully krausened, naturally carbonated. This says that Old Style is brewed the old world way. Not once, but twice. Double brewed.
Krausening is also the most expensive way to brew beer. Most expensive because it takes the most time.
That's right. The G. Heilmann Brewing Company could use shortcuts, but they won't, because they don't aim to make the most beer, only the best.
So tell the man to make yours a style. Old Style. Heilemann's Old Style. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally.
We're here in the supermarket asking shoppers about RB Rice Pure Pork Sausage. Excuse me, ma'am. We've been betting folks they're going to love RB Rice Sausage, and I was wondering if you...
Sonny, I don't gamble.
No, ma'am. You see...
I do play a little bingo, though.
Yes, well...
And I love RB Rice Sausage.
You do?
Oh, yes. It's got friability.
Friability?
You know, it doesn't shrink up in the pan. It's lean, too.
I see.
Yes, sir, Sonny. I'd bet on RB Rice Sausage any day. That is, of course, if I did gamble.
Only bingo.
$10 a card. Got time for a game?
The veteran right-hander is finishing his warm-up tosses. He will be facing Steve Henderson to lead off the 8th inning. Then Leon Durham and Reitz. Bonson, in relief of Rogers, who worked 7 innings here today in his second start of the year. Struck out 4, 3 of them in the second inning when he got Henderson, Durham, and Reitz. Walked 1. The Cubs got 7 hits off of him. He also hit 1 batter. Bonson, one of the Graybeards. They have another one in their bullpen here, Woody Fryman. Steve today singled, drove in a run, and scored a run in the 4th inning. He has fanned and walked in addition to that base hit, so he is officially 1 for 2 today. Harry Heisel erased a 1-run White Sox lead with a home run in the 6th inning at Chicago with the bases empty. Heisel's 2nd of the year. And that's now 4-4 in the bottom of the 6th. There's a ball a little bit low. Use a couple more runs. Bonson fires, and that's a strike call, a fastball. The Mets continue to lead the St. Louis Cardinals. It's now 5-2 at New York in the bottom of the 7th inning. Neil Allen, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Mets, is on the hill, and a swing and a miss by Henderson. Ball 2, strike 2 on Steve. Leading off the 8th. They have 5 hits, got all 3 of their runs in the 2nd inning with the help of a couple throwing errors by Ivan DeJesus. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball into the dirt, and Carter has been all over the place behind there today trying to catch Rogers, and now Bonson was down on his knees and still couldn't get the ball. 3-2 the count. Leon Durham swinging a weighted bat with a donut around the heavy end of it over in the 3rd base side in the on-deck circle. Bonson's 3-2 pitch. Henderson swings. Got just enough of that one to foul it out of play. The temperature they set at game time was all the way up to 39 degrees. Hard to believe it. Got that warm. 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on. He goes after a pitch down and away and fouled it back. So he's still alive, battling Bonson, the veteran. The center fielder, Dawson, plays him as though he's a left-handed pull hitter instead of a right-handed batter. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. He got his walk to open up the 8th. Pretty good at drawing bases on balls. That's the 5th time in this young season that Henderson has drawn a pass. Now here is Leon Durham. Tried the hit and run in the 6th inning in this situation. Leon made contact, but he flied out to center field.
I'd like to see this youngster throw in a base hit now to get him back on the track. When we left Arizona, he was in a very fine hitting streak.
Sure was.
Then he got hurt. The elbow started to bother.
He takes, and that's a ball low and inside. He has only one hit since the bell rang in 13 trips. Struck out 3 times. But now once with a walk. Hits from a closed stance. Right-hander on the hill, delivers. Durham got under that one and fouled it back out of play. Ball 1, strike 1 on Leon. Will be playing against his old Cardinal teammates down at St. Louis Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoon of next week. Count of ball 1, strike 1 on him. With Henderson, the runner at first, and nobody out. Bonson tucks the ball in the right hip, gets his sign, goes into the stretch. Runner at first doesn't go, and a swing by Durham, and a fly ball left field. Raines going back into his right. Quick moves by that young guy. Makes the catch and wheels the ball in a hurry. Well hit, but there's one out, and Reese will be the batter. Looked like he was going to get a base hit on a hard smash off of Parrish, his second time up today. Skidded away from him into foul territory, but he retrieved it and got the throw over to first base in time to beat Reese, who's a slow runner. He is 0 for 3 today and 4 for 12 for the Cubs so far this year. Broke in with a bang on the opening day, remember, with a couple of doubles and a triple. Throw to first, and is in a head-first dive, is back in safely. Cubs with a 4-3 lead, a runner out in the 8th. With one away, and a throw to first, got away from the first baseman, Cromartie. Henderson gets up and goes to second. Makes a turn. He's now going to go to third. The throw, look out. He tries to slide around it. He can't do it. I have to be honest, I did not look at Rojas, Lou, to see whether he was urging him on to third.
I didn't either. I think he did that on his own because Cromartie was in foul territory down the line about 25 feet. He did not think that Cromartie would throw that accurate that far to Parrish, but he did.
So he had a break for a moment, but then he is out at third. So the bases are empty. And Reach takes, and that's a ball. At the second, when the throw over to first base was a bad one, and then tried to stretch it into a two-base error, and got thrown out at third. Bonson working from the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He didn't have a real good cut at that off-speed curveball. But he was a little anxious on 2-0. Now, a count of ball 2, strike 1. There's a swing and a bouncing foul over in the third base side to level the count on Reitz at 2-2. Cubs with a 4-3 lead. And 5 errors in the ballgame. 3 now by Montreal. There is strike three called. He had reach failing out and a curveball that must have caught the inside corner to retire the side. We go to the Montreal half of the eighth. It's still the Chicago Cubs 4, the Expos 3.
Boy, I got to admit you were right, Chuck. This pool sure is a terrific idea.
Actually, it's a terrific investment. With the cost of traveling around with a family these days, having your resort in your backyard sure cools off the old budget. And I think it's warmed up the value of the house.
Yeah, sure is a terrific idea.
Yeah, I had the idea, but General Finance had the way to turn it into a pool. They call it a General Finance home equity loan. Heard them talking about it on the radio a few months ago. You know, guys like you and I have a heck of a lot of equity tied up in our home. So General Finance has come up with a way to loan you up to $25,000 on that equity.
Well, what happens when you refinance your mortgage?
Hey, with a General Finance home equity loan, there's no mortgage refinancing involved.
Oh, sure is a terrific idea.
I've got another idea for you. Give General Finance a call and get started on your own backyard resort.
Hey, terrific idea.
Call friendly Bob Adams to learn more about General Finance's home equity loans. Up to $25,000. See the white pages.
Go into a Shoal Foot Comfort shop today, and you'll find just about everything. Casual and tailored sandals and shoes, lots of contemporary styles and colors, an exceptional range of sizes. Now, that's what you'll find in a Shoal Foot Comfort shop today. If you wait till Sunday, there's more, because Shoal's ad in Sunday's newspaper will have a coupon worth $3 toward the purchase of any pair of shoes in the store. That's about everything, and then some.
Look for valuable Shoal discount coupons in this Sunday's Tribune magazine.
Expos coming to the plate, the top of the batting order against Caudle, who has faced 9 men in 3 innings. The bullpen will be at the ready. A 1-run affair. Posting the attendance. After the rain out in the opener yesterday and the frigid weather hit Montreal last night and today, they are nowhere near capacity. It'll be somewhere close to 30,000. Tim Raines, a little switch-hitting left fielder, steps in, and he takes the first pitch, a ball high and away. Reach up close at third. Caudle delivers. Raines faking a bunt. Looks at a strike. 1-1. Just a few white clouds overhead. And a cold wind out of the north. 1-1 delivered. And he had the bat out there faking a bunt again, and it's in there for a strike. He led off the first inning with a beautiful drag bunt single and got as far as third with 1 out. But he was unable to score. Caudle blowing on the fingers of that right hand, trying to warm him up. They're allowed to do that because of the cold today. Now is ready, delivers, and a ball low and away. Leading the Cards 5-3 in New York today. Their opener yesterday was rained out. 2-2 pitch. Raines takes it outside. A fastball 3-2. Capella and Tidrow throwing for the Cubs in the bullpen. Bill Caudle with the 3-2 pitch. Raines swings at a bouncing ball to Strain at second base. He's got it. And Raines makes it fairly close. Most guys would have been out by 10 steps. He was out by 2. And a good man to keep him off the bases. He has yet to be thrown out trying to steal. 2 this year and 5 last year after they brought him up from Denver, where he ripped up that league hitting .359 with 77 stolen bases. Now Rodney Scott in there. First pitch to him was a ball. Another switch hitter. Huddle delivers, and Scott takes another ball outside. 2-0. Bill in the windup. Scott's going to take, and that's a strike. This is the kind of a guy you've got to make hit his way on. You don't want to walk him. 1 out and a 2-1 pitch. Drew a breaking pitch, and he almost hit him with it. 3-1. Rodney's stance fairly wide. Tall, slender, excellent speed. Connell wants another baseball. Didn't like the feel of that one. He has retired 10 in a row. That's how many he's faced. Came on at the outset of the 5th inning. But he's behind. 3-1 pitch. Scott's going to take, and that's ball 4. He walked him. That's the tying run at first base. Rodney Scott, the first man to reach against Cottle. Now you got a real speedster at first base, and Andre Dawson in the batter's box also has fine speed. He has bounced out to reach, popped up to Buckner near the mound, reached on a walk in the 3rd inning, and Russell picked him off. Andre 0 for 2, hit over 300 last year, and drove in 87 runs for the Expos. And he's off to a good start while he's hitless today in 2 official trips. He got 5 hits over at Pittsburgh in 7 trips to the plate. So he's now 5 for 9 for the year. Buckner will have to hold Scott on at first. A quick throw, and he's back in safely. Scott has that right foot planted on the carpet at first base. He's got a big lead. Another throw to first, and he is back in on all 4s safely. Gets up, wants to dust himself off. The ground was frozen around the bases last night. They had to thaw it out with some butane heaters. Another throw to first just as he started to take his lead, but he got back safely. The 3rd throw made by Cottle to hold Scott on. Another one. It's a little high, but he's back in safely. That's the tying run at first base. We're in the 8th inning with 1 gone. And a very dangerous Dawson in the batter's box. Here's a stretch, the pitch. Look out, it's in so tight he almost hit him. Ball 1. Cubs nursing a 4-3 lead in the 8th. Have out-hit Montreal. There goes the runner. Throw to second. The stream too low, but he puts a tag on.
Oh!
He is well safe. Oh, I don't believe it.
No.
Malpatano is going to beef on that one. That's the second call by Satch Davison out there at second. That has seemed to be very, very questionable.
I don't know how he got into that base safely.
Malpatano has laid in his beef to Satch Davidson, and the Cub skipper is leaving the diamond. He knows all he can do is say you blew it. We don't see a replay on it.
No.
He was between first and second. And Cottle threw to second base, but they had him picked off. But he is now credited with a stolen base, and the tying run is in scoring position. Boy, that can really upset a pitcher. This is a tough hitter in the batter's box. 1 away, here's a delivery. Takes it inside, and it's ball 2. That's going to be all, I think, for Cottle. Rafael Patano is coming out of the dugout. He's had Tidrow and Capella throwing in the bullpen. He had walked Rodney Scott after getting Raines bouncing out second to first. Now, after getting behind on Dawson, Joey out there in the mound. And now pointing down to the bullpen. So we'll have a delay in the game here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal while Tidrow comes in to warm up. With the score remaining, the Cubs 4, Montreal 3. We'll take time out for these messages.
It's like this, Helen. I was telling George that it makes more sense to add an addition to our house than it does to sell.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we like the neighborhood. What we need is more space for the kids, not a new house.
Uh-huh.
After all, our home is now worth a lot more money than what we paid for it. I told George that somehow we should be able to use that money for the addition.
You can.
Huh?
You can. With a home equity loan from General Finance. You could borrow as much as $25,000 on the increased value of your home.
Excuse me for a minute, Helen.
I'm going to call George?
Nope. Going to call General Finance.
Maybe you should call General Finance. With a home equity loan, you could borrow up to $25,000 on the increased value of your home without affecting your present mortgage. You can use a General Finance home equity loan for an addition, to consolidate bills, or however you see fit.
Get all the information by calling the home equity specialist at General Finance. See the white pages for the office nearest you.
If you're looking for a Mother's Day gift that will make Mom's face really light up, give her something that can help lighten kitchen chores. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest you give her the GE Variable Speed Hand Mixer from True Value Hardware Stores. She can dial any of 10 indicated speeds or any speed in between for more precise results. Plus, get extra instant power and speed at the touch of a button to help mix heavy batters. Get the GE Hand Mixer for just $22.99 at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Well, to give you some kind of an idea of how Caudle is done, he has now worked 6 innings in 2 games for the Cubs this year without giving up a base hit. Tidrow relieved Caudle in the game Saturday. He came in with 2 out and a man on. The next man, Kingman, you'll recall, reached on an error against Joe Strain. But then Tidrow struck out Rusty Staub to retire the side. He gave up a couple of hits in the 9th inning Saturday, but he left those men stranded as the Cubs won that ball game 3-1, and Nick got the victory. He relieved Russell in the opening game against the Mets at Wrigley Field to work 2 hitless innings. Struck out 1 man, the first one he faced, and nobody else got on against him. So he's been in 2 ball games. Worked 3 in the 3rd innings, given up 2 hits, struck out 3, no walks, no runs. I hope he can be that effective here because the tying run is at second base.
He's got to keep an eye on Scott at second. But Joey went to the veteran now, who's had a great outings, as you had mentioned. So let's hope that he can continue that streak.
The pressure is on in Montreal, and the hometown fans are hooping it up. Leon Durham trying to keep that throwing arm of his loose out there in right field. Thompson straight away at center as Tidrow goes into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Dawson takes a strike. Ball 2, strike 1. He inherited a 2-0 count. Scott a big lead at second base. Now he gets back with 1 foot barely in the dirt. The other one way out on the carpet. Just about any kind of a hit past the infield, he'll score. Tidrow looks at him, comes to the plate. Dawson swings and he misses. Ball 2, strike 2.
The first 2 pitches were great pitches over the outside corner.
Yeah.
This one was up on Dawson.
Who has batted in his 3rd run of the season. Now they've got the go-ahead run at first base, and Dawson is a threat to steal. With Scott's big lead and his tremendous speed, as we mentioned, anything that got by the infield was a certainty to bring him in. Buckner wisely cut off the throw at the mound to hold Dawson at first base. That's the go-ahead run. The run is charged against Caudle. Now Valentine steps in. Tidrow had just gotten in a practice pitch. Dawson just last year at 34 stolen bases. You can't get careless in the mound with him either. Here's the pitch, and Valentine takes the strike, a letter-high fastball. Valentine today has struck out twice and lined out to Strain at second. Big right-handed hitter. Tidrow fires to first, the runner back in safely. Raleigh Eastwick is now throwing in the bullpen, along with Capilla. So we're tied at 4. The walk blossomed into a run. Here's the delivery. Valentine is swinging and a miss. And a questionable call when it appeared as though the Cubs had Scott out at second base, but he was officially credited with a steal. And the Expos capitalized on it to tie up the ballgame. Now a strike 2 pitch coming up on Valentine. With Dawson at first and one away. Here's the delivery. Swung on a miss. Got him. He didn't appear to have a very good cut.
No, he was backing away from that sidearm pitch.
Harry Crowder now. Not out of the woods yet. He reached second base when he led off the second inning on Ivan De Jesus, 2-base throwing error. And then he scored on Cromartie's base hit. Carter singled in the third, although that should have been an error. So officially, he's 1 for 3. Throw to first. Ron Dawson jumping back on safely. They still have to watch him. Big as he is, he has excellent speed. 2 gone, the stretch by Tidrow. Throw to first. Back in safely is Dawson on all 4s. Ozzie Virgil hollering it up in the coach's box at third. Clapping his hands as much to keep him warm as to indicate his enthusiasm. Big right-hander on the hill into the stretch. Throws again to first base. And again, Dawson jumps back on safely. Cubs with 4 runs on 7 hits, and the Expos 4 runs on 6 hits. But a walk and a stolen base here in the inning have been costly to the Cubs. There's a pitch swung on and fouled by Cotter. It rolls over to Virgil near the coach's box at third, and he flips it into the Cub dugout. There is no sunshine in the playing area at all. None of it getting through that big elliptical opening here in the room. Fans sitting down the right field side, way down there, are in sunshine, but that's all. Cold day. Throw to first. He's back safely. Fans getting impatient. They're booing. But that's the go-ahead run at first base with 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're tied 4-4. Now Tidrow's into the stretch, delivers, and Carter takes. Just missed inside. Ball 1, strike 1. Plate umpire Jerry Crawford. Cubs are convinced that Satch Davidson, the umpire at second, has done them no favors today. 2 on, man on, 1-1 pitch. Strike called in the outside corner. Put it in a perfect spot.
Now he'll have to keep an eye on Dawson with a count of 1 and 2 on Carter.
Because Carter won't have that big full cut with 2 strikes on him. Dawson just now begins to take his lead at first. And he extends that right foot onto the carpet. Throw to first.
Oh.
Got away from Buckner. And the runner gets up. He's going around second. Strange picks the ball up. Lobs it over towards third. And an errant throw by Tidrow puts the go-ahead run at third. And each team now has been guilty officially of 3 errors.
Tidrow's throw was inside, just between Dawson's legs. Buckner had no chance whatsoever to block that ball.
He scrambled all over Dawson in a futile attempt to get the ball. Now look out. Lead run at third. Bottom of the 8th with 2 out. And a count of ball 1, strike 2 on Gary Carter. Come on, Dick, put him away. Here's the stretch. Here's the high kick in the pitch. Oh, and a fair ball that's blocked beautifully by Blackwell that was into the dirt. What from a windup? Not the stretch. We're locked up in a 4-4 ball game. Montreal had a 3-0 lead, then 3-2. Then the Cubs took the lead, 4-3. Held it until just a few moments ago. Now it is tied in over at third with the go-ahead run is Dawson and Gary Carter in the batter's box with a count of 2-2 on him at 2 out. Tidrow's high kicked the pitch. Swung out, he got a piece of it, and he fouled it back. He jammed him with that one. Oh, we need an out here very badly. Leave that go-ahead run stranded. Tidrow working on Carter. This time to stretch the pitch. Swung on, and they drive into right center field for a base hit. And Montreal has regained the lead. And the fans stand and applaud. And the Expo players stand to give Dawson a welcome home.
And Carter's a tough hitter with 2 strikes on him.
Oh, boy.
And a man in scoring position.
The second inning, or the second hit off Tidrow. And now in the batter's box is Parrish. Runner goes. He takes the pitch. The throw bounces in. And he is safe at second with a stolen base for the catcher, Gary Carter. Caught the Cubs completely by surprise. His first stolen base of the year. As they battle for an insurance run. A strike 1 pitch to Parrish. Tidrow delivers is a check swing, but not in time, and a pitch that was blown away for strike 2. Plate umpire Gary Crawford shaking his hands, trying to get a little feeling back in those fingers. He doesn't have the luxury of gloves. 0-2 delivery. Checks his swing, got just a piece of that one. No, he did not. They asked for the appeal on it, denied for the first base umpire on a pitch that broke into the dirt on a check swing. Thought for a moment he might have fouled it. Elias Sosa now throwing in the Montreal bullpen. Montreal leading 5-4 in the 8th with a 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call to retire the side, and Parrish angrily throws the bat away. But the damage has been done. It started with a walk, then 2 hits in the inning, 2 runs, 1 error, a costly one, and 1 man left on. We go to the ninth. Montreal 5 and the Cubs 4.
If the size of your home improvements is discouraging you from completing them, True Value Hardware stores suggest you size up the advantages of Campbell Housefelt air compressors and accessories. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you that air power can help you save time and energy and do a better job when you spray paint, operate portable air tools, sandblast, clean gutters, screens, and more. And True Value Hardware stores can help you determine the size air compressor best suited for your needs, plus recommend the type of attachments that will efficiently help whatever job you're working on. You'll discover many year-round time and work-saving uses for a Campbell Housefelt air compressor and optional air compressor attachments from participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers. And remember, you'll save gas and time by shopping close to home, because you won't have to drive all over town to find the special prices on the items you need. So for values, for selection, and for service, shop at your nearby True Value Hardware store or home center.
This week, ask your A&P butcher for fully cooked ham, water added, shank half, just 68 cents a pound. And from the farm is California fresh asparagus, 68 cents a pound. And enjoy Tab, Sprite, Fresca, or Coca-Cola. Get 8 16-ounce bottles for only $1.19 plus deposits. Plus, you always get S&H green stamps, another reason why you'll do better at A&P.
Watson, getting in his warm-up tosses, will face Scott Thompson. He'll open up the top of the ninth inning, and the Cubs needing a run to tie it at 2 to regain the lead. Vince Floyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. Jack Minovich, our producer. On a cold, cold day. There have been 3 errors by each ball club today. Montreal has left only 4 men on. The Cubs have left only 5. The hits are even Steven at 7. Bonson walked the first man he faced in the 8th inning, Henderson. That made a throwing error to permit him to get to second, but Henderson then tried to get to third on it. And that was not a wise decision. Marty picked up the ball and threw him out.
They succeeded, we didn't.
Yep.
Going from first to third on a throwing error.
Thompson fouls a first pitch out of play. Scotty today, 1 for 3, a single his first time at bat. Then he hit a bullet the next time up, but it was right into the glove of Cromartie, who now is very deep and just inside the line at first, and Parrish guarding the line at third. He takes, and that's a ball low and away. Sosa continues to throw in their bullpen. Blackwell due up next, and then we'll be looking for a pinch hitter. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to the second baseman. Rodney Scott has got it. Thompson is out to open up the ninth. Whoa!
What's your scorecard?
Boy, gust of wind came up and just ripped it right out of my hand. Well, at least it didn't go into the seats. Blackwell got his first hit of the year when he led off the 5th inning with a double hit hard down the left field line. And he scored on Mike Tyson's pinch hit into left field. Both men scored in that inning. Strain drove in Tyson. Tim 1 for 3 today, 1 for 13 for the year. He needs to get on. He takes, and that's a ball from Watson that missed outside at the knees. Blackwell batting left-handed. Watson delivers. Fastball swung on at a foul ball. Under the seats down the third base side. Now the wind, the 1-1 delivery. Twists away from a ball in too tight. Ball 2. Strike 1. Walks and errors have played a big part in this ball game today. 2-1 delivery. Goes after it, hits one into left field, and Raines is there to haul it in. He gets a quick jump of the ball, moves quickly to his left as Blackwell hurls one out there to him, and there are 2 gone in the top of the 9th. Now, who's going to come out of the dugout to pinch hit for Tidrow? Jim Tracy. A rookie against a veteran. Jim 0 for 1. Pinch hit against the Mets. Failed to get out. Took a walk, an error, a base hit, anything. Just get out. He flied out. And his only other appearance as a pinch hitter in the opening game of the season against the Mets, when he batted against a hard-throwing right-hander, Neil Allen. Couldn't get around against him. Flied out to left. He's the last hope of the Cubs to win this ballgame. The Expos with a 5-4 lead. Tracy takes, and the ball in too tight. There's the strike. 1-1. What do we have? 33,000 or 30,000? 30,003. Held down by the rain that postponed yesterday's game and the frigid weather that hit Montreal last night and is held on today. Although the skies are clear, it is cold. There's a ball too low, 2-1. Base is empty, 5-4. Montreal leading in the 9th. The pitch. Fastball for a strike. Inside corner, and Tracy, a look of disgust. He thought that should have been a ball in too tight. Guard the plate. Ball 2, strike 2 with 2 out. Crowd on his feet. Here it is. Too high. Ball 3, strike 2. Kids especially on their feet, jumping up and down, hoping that this is going to be the last pitch. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Their hopes are realized as Tracy strikes out in a pinch hitter's row, and Montreal has captured the first game of the 2-game set. The Expos 5, the Cubs 4.
Some people love sports just like we do. That's why we do what we do. We bring these games to you.
Some people love sports just like we do. You bet they do. And that's why our Marathon Oil brings all these games to you.
Yeah, people love sports, hearing and play, rooting them home, all the way. Yeah, people love sports, and Marathon brings them to you.
Yeah, we really love sports. And that's why this game is brought to you by the Marathon Oil Company. Because we like what you like. A good game, good friends, and good service for your car. See your Marathon man. He probably likes what you like, too.
Some people love sports.
Yes, they do.
Just like we do.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, people love sports, and Marathon brings them to you.
Marathon Oil Company. Still together, still doing it better.
Arkansas has everything you want in a vacation. Sunday's Chicago Tribune will feature the special vacation excitement in store for you this summer in Arkansas.
You can swim in the lake, you can hike the trail, let the mountain music take away your cares. See the friendly faces of Arkansas folks, or sit back and enjoy the mountain air.
Look for the special Arkansas vacation section in Sunday's Chicago Tribune. You'll love every minute. You'll love every mile of the natural state, Arkansas.
Here are the totals. The Expos, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, left only 4. The Cubs, 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, left us 5. Stan Bonson, the winner, and Dick Tidrow, the losing pitcher. He's now 1-1.
Well, if you'd mentioned, Vince, it wasn't a very good day to play, and errors played a very important role in this ball game, and errors are part of a baseball game, no doubt about it. But De Jesus throwing today is an indication of what type of weather we had. He very seldom will make those bad throws, and as many as he made today is as many as he made all last year. And then the one very poor throw by Tidrow to first base, trying to pick off Dawson, just cost us the ball game. He advanced to third because Buckner was on all fours while Strain had to pick up the baseball. Whereas Henderson did the same thing on a poor throw by Monson trying to pick him off, but Cromartie stayed on his feet, went back to get the ball and throw Henderson out, attempting to go to third. It was just one of those days, that's all. I just hope that Russell's split finger, his index finger, isn't too serious.
It split the skin on it, and that's why Russell was taken out for a pinch hitter, Mike Tyson, who did deliver. But the Expos are winner, and they now are 2-1, while the Cubs drop to 1-3. We'll have the finale of this series here tomorrow afternoon. Scott Sanderson from Northbrook, Illinois, is the probable pitcher for the Montreal Expos, and Lynn McLaughlin is the scheduled pitcher for the Cubs. Our broadcast from Montreal brought to us today by the G. Heilman Brewing Company of La Crosse, Wisconsin, the makers of Old Style, the pure brewed beer from God's country. True Value hardware stores are more than just a name. It's their way of doing business. The Chicagoland offices of General Finance, where you can borrow up to $25,000. Check the white pages for the office nearest you. The Association of Chicagoland McDonald's Restaurants. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. Chevrolet and your neighborhood Chevy dealer. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevrolet's an American favorite year after year. Marathon and your local Marathon dealers and distributors, people who got together to do it better. And the Cubs will try to do it a whole lot better tomorrow. I'll have some of the highlights for you on some of the action in this game this afternoon on the scoreboard for those of you in Chicago, and we'll also bring you up to date on the other games in the major leagues now. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau, Jack Minovich, our producer, we thank you very much for being with us. It was an exciting ball game, but the Expos, to the delight of some 30,000 fans, opened their season at home with their third straight victory on opening day at Olympic Stadium and defeat the Cubs 5-4.
Convenience are the two reasons you'll want to install a Chamberlain garage door opener. And savings is the reason you'll want to come to Heinz, because right now Heinz has Chamberlain garage door openers for only $159. That's $30 off. It's a valuable convenience the whole family would appreciate. And you can install a Chamberlain yourself in just an afternoon. So come to Heinz today and save on Chamberlain garage door openers, because when you do it yourself, Heinz helps you do it right.
Heinz Lumber, Building Supply.
Heinz has 25 lumber stores and home centers throughout Chicagoland, including the store at Cicero at 4901 West 25th Place.
Hi, everybody. Vince Lloyd back with you at Olympic Stadium, and it's time now for the scoreboard brought to us by Rusty Jones, Automotive Rust Roofing, and by car dealers who care. Get this, the St. Louis Cardinals, playing at Shea Stadium in New York today, committed 5 errors. And they lost the ball game to the Mets by a score of 5-3 before 15,000 at Shea Stadium. That's the Mets home opener. They must have had the same kind of frigid weather there that we had up here in Montreal. Pat Zachary, who defeated the Cubs on opening day at Wrigley Field, got the victory with relief help in the 6th inning from Tom Hausman, and more relief help from Neil Allen in the 7th inning. No home runs reported. Martinez, the starting and losing pitcher for the Cardinals. The Mets a winner 5-3. Each team with only 5 hits in that ball game, but 5 errors by the Cardinals, 1 error by the New York Mets. New York now has won 3, lost 1, and for the Cardinals, 1 victory and 2 defeats. Tonight, Philadelphia will host the Pittsburgh Pirates, with Bystrom going for the Phillies against Jim Bivey, neither a pitcher of record this year. Atlanta plays at Houston, and last night the Astros got their first win of the season. It'll be Boggs for the Braves against Nolan Ryan. Cincinnati, which got a great pitching performance last night at San Diego, will have Soto going against the Padres tonight on the West Coast against Mura. And the Dodgers, who are unbeaten after their first 5 games of the season, will be at San Francisco tonight, where Bert Hooton goes after his second win of the year. He faces Whitson. The White Sox in Milwaukee are in the 9th inning of their ball game in Chicago this afternoon, with the White Sox leading 5-4 despite a home run by Larry Heisel in the 6th inning. I'll have more right after this.
Rusty Jones.
Hey, how are you?
Goodbye, Rusty Cars.
Hi, I'm Rusty Jones. What? Rusty Jones Rust Proof. You know, I can save your car from rust. You can? Sure, because I'm more than just rust proofing. I'm the one option you can buy for your car that actually appreciates in value.
How's that?
I'll stick with your new car, protecting it from rust for as long as you own it. And everybody knows a rust-free car is worth more trade-in time.
You really stick with my car?
Day and night, winter and summer.
No vacation?
Not even a coffee break.
No gimmicks?
Nope, I just want your car to stay rust-free, so you can say,
Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, Rusty Cars. Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, goodbye, Rusty Cars.
No. Look for new car dealers that offer Rusty Jones' Car Saver system. It's a sure sign they care. And it is now official, the White Sox defeated Milwaukee this afternoon, 2 in a row now for them over the Brewers. They won this afternoon's ball game 5-4 and out-hit Milwaukee 10-5. Hoyt got the victory, his second of the young season, and Fingers, who was supposed to do the great bullpen job for Milwaukee this year, suffered the defeat. The White Sox a winner 5-4. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of this ball game here on WGN Chicago. With a little bit of help from the Cubs, a couple of throwing errors by Ivan DeJesus while Russell was on the hill. Montreal got 3 runs in the second inning. There were 2 errors, both by Ivan in that inning. A hit by Parrish, a single that got off the body of Russell, and a base hit by Cromartie to drive in the first run at Olympic Stadium this year. But the Cubs came back and got the lead. They picked up 2 runs in the 4th inning, and that started with a walk to Joe Strain, a single by Buckner, a run-scoring single by Steve Henderson, and Durham reaching on a fielder's choice with Kenny Reese hitting a ground ball back a third that brought in Henderson with the second run of the inning, and Reese was thrown out on the play. And then in the 5th inning, Tim Blackwell opened up with a base hit into left field that went for a double, and Mike Tyson came off the bench for the Cubs and stroked a single into left field to drive in Blackwell with the tying run of the ball game. DeJesus grounded out to shortstop, and that brought to bat Joe Strain. Ball 1, strike 2 pitch. Here it is. Strain swings and a base hit into left field. The Cubs lead 4-3. Well, the Cubs had the lead, but they were not destined to hold on to it. Bill Caudle came out of relief of Russell, who had to be lifted for Tyson, the pinch hitter, because of the split finger on the index finger of his throwing hand, and Caudle through 7 innings was superb. He put down 9 in a row, striking out 4 men, and then in the 8th inning, he got Tim Raines for his 10th straight batter that he retired. But he walked the next man, Rodney Scott, who stole second. And when Caudle went to a 2-0 count on Dawson, Tidrow came on a relief. And that's when trouble sat in for the Cubs in that 8th inning. Scott was on second base with a stolen base, and Dawson got a base hit to tie up the ball game. Valentine then struck out, and then this is what happened. Throw to first. Oh. Got away from Buckner, and the runner gets up. He's going around second. Strain picks the ball up. Hops it over towards third. And an errant throw by Tidrow puts the go-ahead run at third. Yes, a man over at third in a ball game that was tied up 2 out in the 8th inning. Tidrow then had to face Gary Cotter. He did get 2 strikes on Cotter, and then this. swung on, and they drive into right field for a base hit, and Montreal has regained the lead. And that was the ball game. He wound up the inning by getting Parrish to look at strike three, but Stan Bonson got the victory when he put the Cubs down 1-2-3 in the ninth inning, and Montreal had a 5-4 victory. I'll be back right after this.
This year, travel to a place where your dollar will travel a long way. Scandinavia. A Scandinavian Airlines prepaid vacation to the land of the Vikings costs less than you think. In fact, it's one of the best values for your vacation money. Sail through Norway's majestic fjords under towering mountain peaks. Stroll through villages in Denmark that inspired a grown man to write fairy tales. And sightsee in modern Stockholm, where a tiny bridge transports you to the 15th century. No matter where you go in Scandinavia, you'll enjoy sumptuous smorgasbords, exciting nightlife, and plenty of bargain shopping. Scandinavian Airlines has over 100 different tours to choose from. So call your travel agent and arrange an affordable vacation with SAS, the airline that flies the world at a slightly higher level.
SAS has over 100 vacations to suit your specific travel plans, whether fully escorted or on your own. See your travel agent or SAS.
And one other final in the American League today, Boston, before slim crowd of about 4,000, defeated the Baltimore Orioles 7-2, with Stanley coming on a relief of Torres and getting the victory over Martinez. And the finals and the other ones, the Chicago White Sox defeated Milwaukee before some 13,000 in Chicago 5-4. And at Shea Stadium in New York, the Mets defeated the Cardinals 5-3. And here the final was Montreal 5, the Cubs 4. I'm Vince Lloyd, and our scoreboard today brought to us by Rusty Jones Rust Roofing. Hello, Rusty Jones, and goodbye, Rusty Cars. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow afternoon for the second and final game in this series between the Cubs and the Expos. This has been a presentation of WGN Sports from WGN Radio, Chicago.